Jessie is a full-time finance grad, and at the same time, she is studying psychology part-time. I work at the same place as Jessie, and often out of nowhere, she hits you with these thought-provoking questions and shares her interesting perspectives on them too. And of course, I welcome them. The following conversation with Jessie was not an exception in that it took a lot of unexpected turns. I had a lot of fun talking to her about YouTube, bespoke clothing and accessories, and fashion, and many other things too. The highlight of the conversation has to be when she shared her phone notes with us. So someone said the window to the soul is not the eyes, but your phone notes. And I think Jessie's phone notes are the prime example of that. I think it's got her whole life on it. I'm grateful for this podcast as a platform to get to know other people better. And I'm grateful for you to be here supporting me by listening to this. So thank you. If you feel like following me, do consider checking out my Instagram or YouTube. And I am on most other podcast platforms too, including Spotify. On all platforms, I go by Everything Goes with Pascal. And yup, just Everything Goes was already taken. Thank you again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy my conversation with Jessie Liu. And let me get my notes out.
No, oh, snap. You have a Word doc for me, don't you?
Yeah,
Sorry,
I've got a Google Doc.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Do I have a cool intro as well?
Oh, you
I feel
got a
like
cool
I
intro.
feel like everyone is like, they have some accomplishment that you talk about, and I'm just some person you picked up from our company.
No, a lot of people do say that when I ask them for like, oh, do you want to be on my podcast?
Yeah.
Like I do get sometimes like, oh, but bro, like you've had like these guys, like these people on, and bro, like I haven't done anything. But the thing is, everyone says that. You know what I mean? So everyone feels some sort of imposter syndrome.
Yeah, but you just had a med student who's becoming a surgeon, and like someone who runs a shop, and I'm just like, hi.
Well, you are a successful graduate, and who's studying psychology at the same time, and who's made this shit. Everyone, she's made this.
Oh, I hope that microphone didn't peak.
Before we go on, I see that. Am I tripping, or is my camera a bit crooked? Looks a bit crooked. It's not just me.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back, everyone. We're back.
Thank you.
Well, I think you guys look fine. You know what I mean? You guys look a bit crooked, but I mean, I don't know. You look fine. Anyways, Jessie, you made this.
Oh God, we're starting off with this.
For the listeners and the viewers, if you can't see it clearly, it looks like a leather bag that's off-white color, and you can't see any like branding on it, but it's like off-white color with the gold accent around it. And if you've been watching this, I love fashion. I've built a new appreciation for handmade bespoke objects. Shout out Andrew Oakleston.
Hey.
And Jessie was like, I make bags, and she brought this and she uses this. This is a beautiful piece, Jessie, and it was your first piece.
Yeah, and it's the only one I kept because usually I make them for like my friends for their birthdays and whatnot.
Yeah, you give away.
Yeah. I think the thing about giving it away, and I think I did like watch Andrew's episode.
Yeah.
And shout out to Andrew.
Shout out
I don't know
Andrew.
you, but hi.
You should go say hi. It's so nice.
But what kind of resonated with me about that episode was the fact that he mentioned that I don't really like selling pieces that you make. I think it's a little bit different with things that I put so much effort into. Because one thing I do make and I do sell are things like music samples. I think we had a conversation before. We don't really believe in natural talent, but I think if I were to pick a natural talent, it would be music. Things like the fact that I just tuned your guitar without the tuner, perfect pitch. I think having that is what makes me so passionate about music and what makes things so much more enjoyable. It's kind of almost poetic in a way because I kind of listen to my life in music, because everything, if it has a pitch, I kind of like sing it in my head as well. So but when I make music samples, I think I'm more comfortable selling that one because it's not that I don't put effort into it, it's just that I put a lot less effort into it because it's something that comes naturally to me, whereas I put so much effort into that because I'm just saying no one falls out of the sky with like a needle and like an ability to like sew things really well. Some people might pick it up easily, but for me, it was a learning journey.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just, it doesn't feel right to me. I don't know if right is the right word, but it doesn't feel right if I sell it. I remember making like embroidery, and my mom kind of like joked about it. She's like, oh, this is so nice. What if we sell it? And I just felt really like, no, I just put so much effort into that. I don't want to sell it. Like, I want to give it to someone who's gonna, you know, hang it up on their wall and look at it and feel really special. And I think that's like the difference between, that's kind of like why I like making things so much. One, the satisfaction making something out of nothing, and two, it's like if I have someone that, you know, I give it to, it just makes them feel special, which makes me feel special. And yeah.
How about someone goes, oh, Jessie, I really like this. Like, I saw your friend that you made this for your friend.
Yeah.
I want to pay for this joint.
That has happened before at my
commission.
Yeah, actually, when I was in uni, I had a part-time job, and I remember I made a bag for a friend's birthday, and then she brought it to work because we worked at the same place part-time, and then someone else saw it. She's like, oh, can I buy one off you? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like, and we were it was the problem of talking about the price, because I don't know about you, I feel so bad asking for money back. Like, even if I like share an Uber with someone, I don't really like asking people back for money, but people are like, oh, send me your bank account. I'm like begrudgingly like, oh, okay. Like, even if it's like $5, like, I don't really need your $5 back, but that's all right. But we were debating. She's just like, oh, you should be charging at least like $100 for these. I'm just like, oh, but I really don't want to do that because you're my friend.
You should charge way more than $100. $100 would be a steal.
No, because I was just like, oh, I feel so bad. I was like, I don't really want it. She ended up paying. We ended up paying $60 for it because she's just like, oh, I'm poor for that. And I was like, okay, whatever. I don't really care anyway. No.
Wow, Jessie's friend or Jessie's friend's friend. You got a bargain. I mean, good on you guys. Good on you for, you know, asking for that and, you know, working that out. And good on you for doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it was more rewarding to see how much she liked it. So I was just like, okay, yes, that feels better. And I chose to ignore the bank account money.
So it was a loss for you, right? Net loss, like...
No, actually, because I didn't have to buy anything new for that one. I think, well, actually, because I don't ask for money for them, yeah, technically everything's a loss, but I don't try not to think about it that way. But monetary wise only, yeah, it was a loss.
But say if you were to sell like these bags,
yeah,
for let's say $60 each,
yeah,
and you know all the ones that you've given out to your friends,
yeah,
does that pay for the materials that you get, or is it difficult to say?
I haven't done the math.
Yeah,
I feel like because I do have not really a loophole, but I do have connections over at the place that I get my materials, which is which I can get it for a kind of a little discount.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about materials as in like market value, absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely a loss.
Yeah. Because Andrew was saying like, you know, when he gets the fabric, like a meter by meter cube fabric is already like $200-$300 or something.
Bloody expensive.
I never knew that.
So expensive.
I think most of the majority of the cost would be the labor, which is obviously a lot.
Yeah.
But it's not just that; it's just the fabric too. Already, like
especially like expensive material like that is not real leather because that was a prototype, and I don't want to break the bank with a prototype. But like with actual actual leather pieces. It's a lot, like, yeah, and there's different levels of quality of leather as well, so you kind of have to like really pick and choose whatever. Like, I'm not saying like I'm at a level where I want to make a piece that could last like decades and decades, like outlast me kind of a thing. But at the same time, you don't really want something to fall apart immediately.
Yeah, that
one's going strong, but that's because I don't really go outside anywhere. So, no, that might be a little skewed, but. Yeah.
This one, how many years have you been using this?
I made that August 2021.
2021. So it's been
2 years.
Okay, 2 years and a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, is anything falling apart at all?
No,
like,
not at all, actually. You say that it's off-white. It was a shinier white when I first got it, but it was still pretty good. Like, it's not like visibly scuffed or yellowed or anything.
No. I think this is a like nice color. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I mean. What like shiny white would have been like cool too, but this one doesn't look like those like yellowy.
Eyesore.
Yeah, just yellowy white.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it.
Off white's a really nice one. Thank you.
And I think the ones like I think the pieces that I really like is when it's been 5-6 years and it's clearly not new, but it just gets better with age.
Yeah, like it looks like it's been loved.
It's been loved.
Yeah, that's what I really like about vintage pieces as well.
Hell yeah.
Not to the point where it's falling apart, but sometimes I scour eBay for pieces that I really like. It's like, oh, this looks like it's been treated with love and it's still, in good condition, which is why I try to take care of my belongings as well, like so they're in good condition for many, many years. I feel like if you treat something well, they'll serve you well as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's kind of like one of my life philosophies.
Hell yeah. I think like you seeing like boots, like leather boots, for example, when you see those like creases at the front, I like them. I know some cases it doesn't look good, and I do agree. Like in some white sneakers and stuff, it just makes it look a little bit older and not as like neat as before.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I feel like there's a thing with that good quality stuff. When it does things like that, I feel like it does that in like a very tasteful way. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Definitely. Because things like handbags, right? I feel like when they look too pristine, it looks off. It looks really off because some people buy like really expensive brands of like handbags. Oh, oops. And then they kind of try to keep them in pristine value so they can like appreciate in value and then they can resell later, of course. But I don't know. I'm not a really big fan of that. I feel like if I want something, I'm gonna use it. But I also have a problem with that because I'm also quite a perfectionist. And I feel like I have like this collection at home. Like a mini collection, not that outrageous. But I always get very nervous like bringing it outside because I don't want to like get it dirty and stuff like that. But at the same time, what the heck did I buy a bag for? I'm not going to use it as a bag.
Was this a handbag collection?
Begrudgingly, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the collection? What's in it?
So I have about 3 Dior's at home.
Oh heck yeah!
Okay, it doesn't look like what it seems. Only one of them I bought at the flagship store. The other 2 I bought from like a really good condition, like secondhand, because people just didn't find use for it anymore.
Yeah. Love that. Is it like eBay? What do you use?
Rakuma, which is a Japanese resale.
Rakuma.
Yeah, so Rakuten?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Rakuma is like Rakuten Mart. Rakuma. Yeah. So people, it's like Rakuten is more Amazon and Rakuma is more like eBay, where like people, not big corporations, put their things.
Okay, so Rakuten is like Amazon, so like
storefront.
Yeah.
Like official shops may go on Rakuten and like list their products, but Rakuma is like Trade Me, kind of like people. I know official shops also list on Trade Me nowadays, but like back in the day, people would put like their belongings, all their stuff that they want to sell on Rakuma. Yeah.
Is it only Japanese people there? Or is it like eBay where
widely only Japanese, because a lot of people on Rakuma don't actually ship overseas. It's just that I use a proxy to ship it to me.
Yeah. Yes. Guys, we've hit a jackpot.
Oh no.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you if you know proxy.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I do.
Jessie, what is going on here? Because are we like same person but in two different bodies? Because I was looking up like we'll get into this later, but I was looking up how to get, because I've been getting into designer brands, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna read that book next, Magella, Hermesius.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you like, Magella?
I do. Yeah. I
We're best friends.
Excessively read Wikipedia.
Guys. Oh no. Jess, what the heck? Okay,
yeah,
so
it's actually so interesting because Rakuma, right? Let's be honest, some people have counterfeits and not even know that they're counterfeits and try to sell it for it. So I feel like it's gone to a point, because I only used to like go on Rakuma for a Dior. That's where I got like my vintage Dior. I have one from like before I was born.
Yeah.
And then
so sick.
And one that was like a limited edition one that's no longer like in circulation anymore. But when I got them, oh my god, like the excessive amount of reading and research that I had to do to like identify fakes. It's to the point where you give me a Dior bag and I can probably tell if it's fake or not.
What do you look for? Say I give you a bag now.
Yeah.
Jessie, I don't know if it's real.
Yeah.
What do you look for usually?
Yeah, so Dior, like let's just take Lady Dior, right? The amount of stitches with every pattern has to be, I think it's 5 or 6. Yeah, has to be a specific number.
Okay.
Also, I should have brought it today.
Yeah.
Oh, but you wanted me to bring that. So
Yeah. Oh, you should have brought the whole collection.
Well, brought 2 of them. I look so weird on a bus.
New fashion. Get 3 handbags.
On a bus? Absolutely not. I'm too paranoid for that.
Fair
but
enough.
Things like the Dior bag, right? There's like a charm on the edge of the Dior bag.
Okay.
That's like DIOR, and the O is like a leather tag. If you flip it around, a lot of counterfeits will have made in Paris or made in Italy.
Right.
First of all, if this is made in Paris, that's not true because Dior stopped making their bags in Paris a very long time ago. They now
Okay.
make them in Italy, to my knowledge. If there are any like Dior employees or enthusiasts out there, please don't roast me. This is just my knowledge.
Oh, not even that. If Mr. Dior's... Is it Mr. Dior?
He's
Christian
not alive
Dior, right?
anymore.
He
He hasn't been alive for ages. What are you on about?
I hope... Rest in peace, Christian Dior.
He's rolling in his grave. Yeah.
Because Magella is still alive.
Yeah.
Martin
He is.
Margiela,
He is. Yeah. He is. Mason Mariella, right? He's. Oh no, not him.
Martin Magella.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot which one it was, but one of the Masons.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the one. The creator. I don't know how to pronounce his name. The creator of Baccarat Rouge. You know the gold one with like the red seal, the very famous.
Which one's
perfume? The Baccarat Rouge. His initials are FK.
that? Okay.
I just don't know how to pronounce it, and I don't even know where to begin to pronounce it. Francis K.
Right.
I'll show you a picture. But he's
Okay.
the director of Dior Fragrances.
Right.
Yes, so a lot of intertwining. But yeah.
Wait, how are they easily related to Magella?
Oh well. Oh, I just got them confused because both of their brands start with Mason.
Yeah. No, I think Mason is like
Yeah, it's a title.
It's a
It's an occupation.
Yeah,
title,
I thought Martin's first name was Mason. I was like Mason Martin Magella. Okay, Martin's middle name Magella.
No.
And then someone said like Mason like some other thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
okay, I need to figure this out.
I think with that was the one I was talking about. But
Right.
back to the whole tag thing.
Yes.
It shouldn't say anything. It should just say Christian Dior. A lot of counterfeit. I don't know why, but a lot of the ones I've seen come across on because I have a real one to compare it with, but a lot of ones I've seen on the Rakma when people upload it, it kind of makes me a little bit sad because I feel like these people don't actually know that they own a counterfeit because a lot of the times in the description they'll say something like this was given to me as a gift, but I just never have the opportunity to wear it because it's very like outlandish, and I feel like it's still a society over there where you kind of like blend in with everything else. Everything's kind of low key, but I kind of look at it, I'm just like, oh, that's very obviously a fake. And I just feel really bad.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you don't know, you don't know, right?
Yeah,
Especially if you're given it as a gift.
Yeah.
They're like, it's real.
Yeah, and
question.
especially if they're like reselling it for like what $600, $700.
Yeah.
That's like so what? Like you pay like $8,000 for a new Dior. Like that's already a steal. Like if you like it, you might as well take it. But it just like kind of makes you a bit. But maybe I mean people don't really care as much. It's just that if you put that much money into something, I hope you're getting the quality as well.
Heck yeah.
Because like it's just if you the reason why I kind of favor Dior over other brands is that like they do hand make their stuff.
Really?
Yeah, or at least the promotional videos that they choose to show on the internet show them hand making stuff, but you can kind of see how everything's assembled.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see like, oh, like you are paying for quality rather than like, other brands that probably don't, are not that open with their consumers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh man, like I said, I've developed like a whole new appreciation for handmade stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that
Yeah.
they're hand making stuff, because if it's gonna cost, a lot of money,
Mm.
might better be good quality.
Yeah, hella money.
Better be good quality.
Yeah. Which is why not naming certain brands, but I feel like some brands when they choose to up their price and decrease their quality, for example, removing gold and making it brass.
Right.
The brass that was it the conversation I had? No, I had this conversation with a coworker that a lot of designer brands, their jewelry is brass, not even stainless steel. And brass is the one where you like smell it and it smells like metal.
Oh.
Yeah, it smells like blood metal, and then it makes like your skin green.
That's what it is. Is it bad for your skin?
It just turns your skin green. I haven't done much research into like what it actually means for health wise.
Yeah.
But it's just an unsightly thing.
Do
And
you
also
mean-
you're
yeah.
paying like hundreds and hundreds of dollars for something that 1 turns your skin green, 2 tarnishes, 3 can't really survive in the water.
Yeah. When you say it turns skin into green, do you mean but you can wash it off?
Yeah, you can wash it off,
but
like it just oxidizes on your skin.
okay.
So it does take quite a bit of effort. And also, I don't know, but I personally had like a bad skin reaction to some of those before. So, yeah, and my mother's actually the same as me. She can't actually wear anything that isn't a precious metal because it forms bumps on her skin. So it's like if you have the money, go for it. If that's like your normal spending money, go for it. I don't particularly care, but at least like for me personally, if I'm spending like $800 on jewelry, better be good, better not turn my skin green.
So what does your mom go for, like gold, silver?
Well, to be fair, she doesn't wear jewelry at all,
Okay.
but her engagement and wedding rings are gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's safe with those.
Yeah, like real gold.
Yeah. One day I need to do that because so I used to have like a ring and I think it must have been, what's that thing that turns green? Brass. It must have been brass because it smelled weird.
Yeah, brass, nickel, like all the metals that are just somewhere below stainless steel, sterling silver, and etc. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think sterling silver. I don't know. Maybe just by like skin or something. But even when it's sterling silver rings, I don't feel like that comfortable in them. Like sometimes it kind of feels like it's stingy a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah. So I stopped wearing that. It might just be like rather than the steel itself, but the ring just rubbing on my skin or something.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But I stopped wearing rings. I used to love rings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had a ring face.
Yeah.
And then kind of grew out of it. There's I opened this and there's like a
whole stash of them.
A bowl with
oh,
rings
cute!
there.
You have a jewelry dish.
Yeah, jewelry dish.
Oh, nice.
A bit of behind the scenes, guys.
Yeah.
Bit of behind the scenes. So, yeah, I mean they mean like, I mean they each of them like I got them for like an occasion kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, so I would wear them, and I think rings do look really cool. But I kind of made a decision to stop wearing them, trying out kind of like a minimalistic vibes these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think, it really just depends on your skin. Because I like things that I don't have to take off all the time because I don't want to lose things. So things like stainless steel, even though it is stainless steel, it doesn't tarnish in water. I do like swimming a lot, so I don't like taking off things. But like even then, like my mother can't take it. She needs like actual precious metals. It's just something with her skin.
Yeah.
It sounds a bit pretentious, but that's just the way it is.
Oh, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Man, so you're into Dior handbags. What do you do
I'm
with
into just Dior anything.
Dior anything?
I follow fashion a lot, probably because I worked with designer fragrances for a long time. So
you work with them?
I worked with them. So that part-time job in uni, I was a beauty advisor. So things like cosmetics and stuff like that.
Oh,
really cosmetics, fragrances. So like
Oh, okay. wait. Shouldn't they know that? Oh, but it's fine, right?
It is fun, but I just don't want to like give away the location.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
but you didn't work there anymore, right?
No, not anymore.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
But so I dealt with that for a long time. So that was where I gained appreciation for fragrances.
Yeah.
I've always been really interested in makeup. It's just fun. It's so fun. Like there's nothing more to it than like it's just really fun.
Like makeup.
Yeah, cosmetics. Yeah, cosmetics, skincare, fragrances. They're just so fun. Like, and they just like make me feel really good about myself. And but I constantly read up on fashion. You know how like when you open up the new tab page on Google and like you get like personalized newsfeed, about like 5 out of 10 of them will be like fashion related things.
That
and
is
I think
interesting.
Yeah, and I think between like designer things like that, right? I think to be interested in them, you have to walk like a really fine line. You can't have a, mindset of like, oh my God, why are they so expensive? It's like useless or anything. But you also can't fall into the pit of consumerism because you're like, oh, I want these things just because they're designer. I'm obsessed with brands. Like, it's just a very fine line that's admittedly quite difficult to walk because I constantly see things and just like, oh, that's so pretty. But do I just want it just because it's a brand?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Referring to that collection that I mentioned earlier, I think that was a time where I didn't really walk the line quite well.
Were you?
Yeah.
Do you mean like you're in the more on the side of the consumerism?
Yeah, those 3 Diors are not the end of it.
Yeah. Okay. Are you good to open up your whole closet right now?
I'll name my favorite ones.
Okay.
So like the 3 Diors, out of the 3 of them, I like it's a new one that was released in 2021 or 2022. Oh, I forgot. Oh, 2022. Yes.
2022, like fall, winter, spring, summer. Do you know?
Fall, winter.
Fall, winter.
Yeah, at the early calendar year 2022. It's called Lady Dejoy. It's like essentially a rectangle version of their signature Lady Dior.
Okay.
I unfortunately was influenced by a celebrity I really like.
Oh, which one?
And Blackpink's Jisoo.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, she put it on
that.
Vogue Korea, and then I saw it and I was like, oh my god, it's so pretty.
That looks cool.
And,
yeah.
Yep, the rest is history. And then the other two I got off Rakuma, but yeah, the other one I really liked I got at the end of 2020 was because in 2020, end of 2020, I turned 18. I got the Givenchy, the Antigona.
No.
So it's their signature bag, but they have different variations of it. I got the mini vertical one.
Okay.
Again, admittedly, after seeing it on a celebrity that I liked.
Which one?
They're all K-pop idol shit.
Yeah.
aespa's Ningning.
What?
aespa. They're a recent group. Debuted in 2020, but I saw her carry and it was so cute, and I was like, because right now it's not being made anymore. At least I can't find it anywhere. So I that one I didn't get brand new, don't worry. I got it from Japan.
Oh, that's sick either way, you know.
Yeah, and Marc Jacobs, the tote bag.
Oh, did you bring it?
Huh?
Is there the tote bag?
Yeah, the tote bag
For Marc Jacobs.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, nah.
Have you never seen the bag? That's like a tote bag, and it just says the tote bag. Like
Oh,
Marc
right.
Jacobs.
I probably have. But
Yeah. I got one that is also not being made anymore. I don't know how I keep getting these things, but it's the one that's kind of like black denim.
Okay.
I'll show you another one, but it's like the perfect. It's not too much of an eyesore. It doesn't, according to my friend, it doesn't scream patchwork or anything. It's just like, I don't know. It's just so cute, and I really like it.
But so you're into bags. I mean, you're into fashion in general, but it sounds like you're into bags.
I really wish I wasn't sometimes, but yes, I am. Yeah, they're just very pretty to look at. I think now I kind of look them and just I'm able to appreciate them just by looking at them.
Yeah.
But like back then, I was just like, oh, I love bags. But I kind of look at my behavior pattern, and again, I think I touched on this earlier, but I have a bag that I really like, and admittedly, it's a lot of money. And then I just never take it out because I'm too scared of getting it dirty. And it's like, well, what the heck did I get this bag then
Right.
for? So right now I'm starting to like not be a bit reckless, but I'm starting to be a little bit more brave on like taking my belongings out. I think the idea of like perfectionist and the fact that I like taking care of my things kind of makes me a little bit of a coward when it comes to these things. It sounds really stupid because at the end of the day, it's just a material thing. But I don't know. I just had a long period of time where I just absolutely would not like dare to take like things that are very precious to me, things I paid a lot for.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like I look at things and I'm very a big fan of things that have been loved and things that have been taken care of well. So I'm starting to do that.
Yeah. No, but I get that though. Like you paid a lot of money for these things, which looks beautiful right now. And you take it out and there is a chance you drop it, someone scratches it, you scratch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or it gets like you drop food on it, you know what I mean? All kinds of things.
Yeah.
But I think that's what I really like about Magella. I don't know about Dior because I haven't really done much research on it. But recently I did a bit of a deep dive on Magella. And the philosophy of Magella, from what I understand, is designed to be loved. Designed to get some like dirty stuff on it. Designed to like wear out a little bit when, Yeah. So that's why I really vibe with that philosophy. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
So
something I'm trying to learn. Yeah.
The Magella philosophy, you know.
Do you have anything that you really like and you want to protect, but you should probably use it because it's a utility thing?
Do I have anything like that? Not right now. I probably did in the past, but yeah, not really. Like right now, I probably will do soon because now I'm getting into fashion, especially designer brand fashion, right?
Yep.
So I probably will do soon. But again, like I want to get something that can age with me, you know? And I think that's why I want to get like Magella again, you know, just because of their philosophy. And it's designed to age with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Do you mean Hermes?
No, not Hermes. I mean, Margiela worked for Hermes for like some years,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean mainly Margiela.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because Hermes, like I don't know too much about, like, or Margiela's when he was in Hermes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I'm looking at that book right now. It does say the Hermes.
The Hermes years. Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
I got the book off the from the library,
Mm.
and that was the only, because I know there's like 2 or 3 Margiela books.
Yeah.
And that's the only book that's available in the library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So and
Yeah.
they cost a lot.
They do. I
cost a
remember
lot.
going to Devonport and seeing like a Dior book. It was like a massive Dior
It's
book. I look at the
massive, right?
price tag, $455.
$450. It's just
I'm just
paper,
like,
guys. Paper with ink. You know, we could probably like pirate that. I mean, don't. I mean, we should.
This
couldn't.
is gonna be on the internet.
I mean, we could, but we wouldn't. But we could, but we wouldn't. But in theory, we could. Physically, we could. Physically, we could go to a computer, sit down in front of a computer, type those words, and
You'd
then
be the worst
click,
criminal
click.
ever. You would be the worst
Hey,
criminal
but
ever.
I'm a mathematician, right? Like, is it possible? Most likely possible.
The risk I took was calculated, but boy, am I bad at math.
But we wouldn't, and I wouldn't, because I'm scared of. Okay, now I'm just digging a hole here. Now, but I prefer physical copies anyway.
Yeah.
Especially with these like very color dependent contents like this, right? Yeah, I prefer physical
They
copies.
sell them at Costco. They have a Versace book at Costco.
Costco.
Yeah, that's like the last place I would expect. But I saw one, like
Yeah.
a massive Versace book for like $70 at
Okay.
Costco, and I was like,
Costco's
I didn't get it,
random.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's like the opposite. Like the only, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like high end and then Costco. And so, but with Margiela, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, man, I can't believe this. I've been like just having internal dialogues on my own for a while, and now I have an outlet, and like my mind is blown, and like all my notes is kind of gone out the way.
Oh, nice.
Everything goes, guys. So with Margiela, Jessie, you love YouTube too, which
Yes,
we'll
I
get
do.
into.
Yeah.
There's this guy called Bliss Foster. Have you heard of him?
What does he do?
He does fashion journalism,
Mm-hmm.
and he is probably the biggest fashion journalism, if there is anyone else, on YouTube.
Yep.
So his name's Bliss Foster,
Mm-hmm.
and what he got kind of famous for is this deep dive into every single runway shows that Margiela's done since the beginning.
Yep.
Woo! It's like part, because it's literally every year, fall, winter, spring, summer.
But yeah.
And he does deep dive. So each runway is like, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So you can see that like how much it builds up.
Yeah.
So he's got like this playlist, and it's like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours long for part 1. And that's how I've been deep diving into Margiela.
Oh yeah.
And man, like he's like such a good. He makes things simple for people like me who doesn't know fashion, right? And he's so passionate about this. He loves Margiela.
Yeah.
And like, man, like I love hearing his passion in his words. And he just loves fashion in general anyway. So I really like that.
Yeah.
So I'm as cheap as they come, right? For the first time, I joined his Patreon, and I'm on his Discord server, and it's just a bunch of people, fashion nerds, talking about fashion 24/7.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Sounds like your dream.
It sounds like your dream too. Honestly, I'm surprised you're not on it.
I don't have Discord, but that's probably another issue. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I did have a Discord, but I hardly ever used it. I mean, that's the only reason I use it now.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, maybe you should check him out. Would you check him out, Bliss Foster, if you like Margiela?
I do like fashion YouTubers. There's this, I think it's called like Modern Girls, and she breaks down like fashion in movies, how like movies are represented. I like how, you know, the movie The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
That one I remember caused up like a thing at the time, because at the time like Oscars for like best costume design were only like period, like handmade costumes, like Victorian era sorry, I'm probably using this very incorrectly, like, but you know, you kind of get the gist.
Yeah.
But it's like, for a movie at that setting, they were just like, oh, is it really worthy of the Oscar, or is it really worthy of recognition if it's just off the rack? And it's like, well, yeah, then because it suits the time and setting, so it would make sense that the characters would wear things that are designer brands off the rack.
Yeah.
So it's like things learning about like fashion history, it's really interesting to me. Truthfully, I think the only brand I've ever done a true deep dive on is Dior. I'm not too educated on all the other ones. I am interested in learning them, so yeah, I mean, I definitely would check them out now that you mentioned it. I'll Google it up later.
For sure. And I think learning about that plus talking to Andrew, man, like my whole thoughts and philosophy on fashion changed. And I think it's I think it changed for the better. But now, you know, I feel like not only I look for like quality clothing that will last me longer, but now I view certain fashion as expression of creativity, right? Expression of, it's an art, expression of self, right? I think when I deep dive into Magella, my takeaway, obviously a lot of takeaways like in the more final level, but my big takeaway was that, okay, fashion is really like art. It's not like just wearing clothes that how I had been digesting. But it's really like art. There is a story there. And you know, for Magella, for example, the story is the narrative is that it's the way Bliss describes it is that he made fashion go from luxury to cool, and that's cool. And he made it available for the mass, you know? Man, like, so, yeah, I mean, just some of his runways, I want to get into it, but I'm not going to. But some of his runways, like, very so, like, authentic, and and just, I think it very aligns nicely with my philosophy. And I never thought about that, because previously I'm like, is it good quality? You know, is it gonna last me? Does it look good? That's the only questions I ask. But now I'm asking, like, does the philosophy of the clothes align with my philosophy? And it's fun. It's so much fun.
It is. I remember because you know, when you do like self introductions, at least at work, I had to do a few of them. Something I always mention is like, I really like fashion, and I really like this particular designer called Jean-Paul Gaultier. He's a French one. Do you know him?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Also, like Paco Rabanne. I think right now they've rebranded to Rabanne though. Yeah.
Right.
What?
I think Gaultier was Magella's teacher, if I'm not wrong.
I feel like I should know this. I don't know that.
Right. I could be wrong.
Yeah, but I do really like those too. And I remember because I would like show one of their pieces, and then people would be like, "Oh, but that isn't really practical in it." And I'm like, that's not really the point. Like, what you see on the runway, like, you'll be crazy to wear that every day. One, it's impractical. Two, you're probably gonna die from the heat. But like, three, it's just not made for practical wear. So I feel like every time I see people like a little bit cynical, a bit jaded with like fashion, it's like, it's not meant to be us, like everyday clothes kind of a thing. It's meant to be art. You don't go to, you know, the art gallery and just go, oh, what's the point of all this? Like, you kind of just appreciate it for what it is. And you know, of course, like, so if you're not interested in it, you're just not interested in it. So yeah, I mean, it's purely subjective, but that's what makes me appreciate it, because it's pretty. Like, there's nothing, it doesn't have to be too deep for me. I mean, I feel for me, it doesn't have to like mean anything to me or like resonate with me. I look at it because it's pretty, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah. No, I think if it looks cool.
Yeah.
You know, I think if it's cool, it's cool.
Yeah. For me, like, it serves purpose. It's pretty.
Yeah,
brings joy to my life.
Exactly. So what's that piece? What's that?
There's a specific dress off like one runway. I don't remember the year or the season, but it's this black one. I'll show you, but it's just this black see-through one, and the model's like raising her arm like this, so it kind of looks like a wing. It just looks very pretty, and just use that example every time because it just looks, the silhouette of the dress just looks so pretty.
So it's Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Yeah, Jean-Paul Gaultier, and
it's his brand.
Yes.
Yeah.
His nice brand. Yeah. Because I quite like, so Jean-Paul Gaultier belongs to the parent company called Puech.
Okay.
So, and Puech owns like Carolina Herrera, Paco Rabanne. Right now they've rebranded to Rabanne, but I quite like all of them because their brands have such rich history and rich values. Carolina Herrera is very like making women feel beautiful. Paco Rabanne is like inclusivity ever since like the 60s. Jean Paul Gaultier has been what people today call woke for like the last several decades.
When woke was a thing.
Yeah, when woke wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
Thing that with the inclusivity, diversity of their models and their like people.
Yeah.
So I really do like those brands.
That's cool.
Yeah,
because like the context of now is different to the context of back then. You know, it would be much harder to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Even like models in the 90s, I'm pretty sure like Naomi Campbell, like she couldn't, just because she was different to all the other models, and here she is now, an absolute legend. So.
So what are you hunting for next, Jessie? Are you hunting for anything at the moment?
I do this. Okay, so bookmarks on Google Chrome, right? I have this folder called Wishlist, and I have to put everything on there and wait for about 2 months and see if I still want it.
I did the exact same thing. I did the exact same thing.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm not gonna do anything else with my life except for. But I've stopped doing excessive investigation research on Nakuma. I haven't been on there for a while, right. But because I have a job now, not in uni anymore. But I have adult and responsibility and shit like that. But no, nothing really that I'm looking out for at the moment. I think No, I like everything at the moment.
Okay.
So, no, I'm not looking for anything. I need to stop. I'm going to run out of room for everything soon.
What's on your wish list, though?
Oh, snap. Maybe it's a good thing that I don't remember. But there's definitely something. I don't think there's anything like designer thing wise. I think it's most like tea. Tea from overseas. Right. It's just very random, very off topic, but tea from overseas. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the fact that you don't remember it, even if there was like clothing there, maybe,
Hey, that probably means that I don't want it that badly.
Exactly.
Like, which is a good thing.
I mean, that's the point of wish list, right? You have it there for a month.
Yeah.
Do you still want it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
It's like the thing with cosmetics, right? It's like, oh, there's like new thing, new trendy thing. And I'm just like, you don't need it. You only have one face. You don't need it. You only have so much skin. Because, back at my old job, because it was in like cosmetics, right? I got so much free, like I'm talking YSL makeup, like really high end makeup, like so much crap. And it's like, I can't use all this. So like I'm constantly giving things away to friends, things like fragrances as well. And I'm like, I only have so much skin on my existence. Yeah. I don't need this much fragrance. This fragrance collection is going to outlast me. Damn. I have this shelf in my wardrobe that I'm very proud of. That shelf alone is worth about like 300k.
And it's free, and you got that for free, and
most of it for free. Really? Yeah, but like I did, because I loved fragrances so much. Like the makeup from Mecca. Yeah. I'm so high up on their rewards program that I feel like
my queen's VIP.
I feel like because I stopped buying like frequently from them because I don't really buy frequently from them either. It's just like because their fragrances, they have exclusive rights in New Zealand to niche fragrances, including that
Magella.
Yeah, including that. I hope we're talking about the same person, but including that.
Yeah.
And even but they're like hella expensive. So I think I have about 3 of them from them. And they skyrocketed me up the tier, like the member tiers, just so high.
Yeah.
And now I get an email like every month or so being like, hey, we have like a free gift for you.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like I'm making all my money back in free gifts because I'm so high up on the tier list.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how did I get here? And, I'm not the highest one. The highest one is like no sane person would ever go there. Right. Or anyone with like an absurd amount of disposable income. But I'm just here like, what am I doing here? But no, I do appreciate all the lovely gifts they give me. And I do get like a lot of perks, but I'm just like, damn.
Shout out Mecca.
Love Mecca.
Love Mecca.
Not sponsored.
Oh, maybe.
No.
I mean.
What do you need as a sponsor?
I mean, like, I've got glass of vitamin water here, but this can be easily replaced. You know what I mean, Mecca?
With what? They sell makeup.
Yeah, I mean, I could replace it with makeup or fragrances.
Okay.
You know, they do have like
No, it's just that
things.
vitamin water, like you drink it, so I was
You
just like, I'm
drink
gonna
it,
drink it.
Yeah.
Please don't.
I wouldn't drink it, but it will at least smell nice.
Oh, actually, I always ask people this because what I like to do with people is that when I kind of get to know them, I kind of mentally assign them a fragrance in my head. Do you
Okay.
wear anything?
Just my what do you call those? The deodorant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which one?
It's like I don't know. I just picked it because it's like aluminum free.
Do you know the name and the scent?
Nah, it smells nice. I mean, actually, I'm not wearing any deodorant now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I hardly wear anything.
Oh, right. Do
Yeah.
you? Because what I usually do is that people kind of ask me like, "Oh, recommend me a fragrance." I'm just like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna figure out what you like first," and that usually starts with
I
deodorant
see.
for men at least. But
Mm.
yeah, no, I feel like when I meet people, I always like I do this thing with like my cohort at work, right? I have this notes notes in my notes app where I've like assigned people like fragrances that I think would suit them.
Yeah.
I started with the men because there's like 6 of them. But yeah, no, yeah, I have like very specific ones I think would suit people.
Okay.
Some people are a little harder than others, like what matches their personality, what they actually like.
Mm.
But I know for one of them, one of my friends, it was so obvious. I was just like, you are that one. You exude the energy of that
Really?
one. Yeah, whether you like it or not, too bad. You're like,
Oh, that's handy. Do I have one?
not yet. I haven't really
Not
thought
yet.
about that yet, but I'll
Okay.
get back to you on that.
Yeah. But that's good that you don't have it yet. You know,
Yeah.
so that you can, it's a or the process.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But no, it's like a hobby of mine. I just like randomly assign fragrances to people.
Okay, so there's so what else? We talked about handbag.
Mm-hmm. What
And we-
else is on your notes app?
Talked about none of this at least. We talked about that dress that you mentioned, and was it the dress?
Oh yeah.
What else? What else is in your collection? So we're touring your closet now. That's what I'm imagining.
My most prized possession in my
Mm.
closet is probably a Vera Wang dress.
Vera Wang dress?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not okay. Before you guys speculate, no, it's not a wedding dress. I know she's famous for those, but no, it's not. It's a I think it's a wool dress. It sounds very
dress.
heavy, but it's like a very thin
dress.
wool dress.
Okay.
It's like more of like a very special occasion dress. I don't think I've ever worn it out, and I keep it like zipped up in like a special like a
Nice.
dress. What do you call them? Not pockets,
Oh.
but like sleeve.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because otherwise, moths.
Yes, my
Oh.
wool suit.
Yeah, kind of hole at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wore like that twice. Just.
Yeah.
So-
Those are devastating, but yeah, no.
I cried.
Vera
No, I
Wang
didn't
dress.
cry, but I almost cried. Yeah.
It's
Okay, Vera
it's
Wang
a
dress.
very beautiful dress. It's like I haven't worn out yet, but it has to be like a very special occasion, like probably
Okay.
someone's wedding for me to wear it.
Right.
Yeah, it's like navy blue, dark blue. It's a very beautiful. dress.
Yes, that's such a versatile color.
Yeah. I love navy blue, but also, I just have this thing sitting in my closet. I've never worn it, and I don't really like it because it's very padded. It's a YSL blazer. It's
Ooh.
I don't know. I hate things with padding because I used to swim, right? So I feel like
Okay.
my shoulders are already broad enough, and I like it, but without padding. So I get really annoyed when blazers have padding. You know the infographic that I sent you the other day? It
Yeah.
has like English cut, Italian cut, American cut.
Yeah.
I like English cut blazers. I don't know if it's the same term for like feminine blazers, but those have like little to no padding, and
Yeah.
I like that because padding kind of makes me so annoyed. But it's just that the YSL blazer has so much padding. I've been thinking about going to like maybe a specialized tailor to remove that damn padding
Yeah.
because it annoys me so much. But I haven't gotten around to that, and it's also sitting in like a enclosed case
Okay,
in my
okay.
closet.
But I think paddings. I'm not a big paddings guy on guys,
Mm.
but I think paddings on like girls.
Yeah, but
I've looked. I like
Mm,
that.
But the average woman like is like very, well, at least a feminine presenting person doesn't have like that like broad shoulders. Like they kind of want to accentuate their shoulders simply so they have like a balanced ratio between the rest of their body.
I see.
I don't need that. I really don't need that. And I don't want that either. So yeah, no.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but that's cool that you got a YSL. Yeah, that's cool. Anything else? What about shoes? We haven't talked about shoes. I'm surprised.
I'm not really, because like high-end shoes, I don't really believe in high-end brand sneakers. I think I've seen a few Moncler ones that are really pretty, but that's about it. But no, I like my Converse.
You like your Converses.
Oh no, sorry, I don't own a Converse. I like my Vans
Your
and my
Vans.
New Balances that I wear to work because they're like white. Yeah, but no. Otherwise, I have like leather boots from Charles and Keith. I don't think they're real leather, but they are really good quality. Matches the price point as well. And I have the leather conditioner from Coach that I usually buy. And I just polish all my leather things with that.
Oh yeah, like your handbags and things.
Handbags, shoes, belts if I have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often do you polish them?
I think, especially if I don't bring my handbag out, I feel like it's a bit redundant. But if I kind of see like for my work bag, right, that Charles and Keith one, I polish it like once a month.
I can't remember what your work bag looked like. Is it black?
Yes, the black one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you'll have opportunities to see it.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah.
It's the black one with like 2 overarching handles.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. You polish them. So what do you do? Do you just put like?
I put leather conditioner on the cloth.
Yeah.
On like a microfiber cloth. It's actually a cloth that I got from Mecca. That to like specifically to wash your face because it's more gentle.
Right.
But I put that on the cloth and I just polish it.
Okay. And do you wash that cloth afterwards?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, to get that off.
Yes.
And then does it dry off like that?
Because it's conditioner, right? It doesn't come off. Like it's not supposed to be because it's like a cream, right? It's like the consistency of hair conditioner almost, or hair shampoo. So you kind of just rub it and work it into the leather, so like it just absorbs it.
But when you wear it with, say, like you do that for your handbag and you like take it to work and stuff, does it get rubbed off on your clothes and shit?
No.
It doesn't.
Leather color shouldn't drop that easily. If it does, I'm slightly concerned. Like, you should be very careful with it, but I don't think the conditioner does anything to that. At least I haven't had experience with that yet.
Right.
Then again, I do wear black to work, so I'm probably not a very good reference.
So the conditioner is not wet or anything? Like,
No, it's supposed to be, it's quite a thick consistency.
Right.
You work it into the leather.
True.
If it doesn't absorb into leather, sorry, you use too much. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like body moisturizer as well. You can, like, if it starts sitting on top of your skin, you've probably put too much.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I forget that leather is like an animal skin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So, here's a question.
Oh dear.
Jessie, what do you think of Magella tabbies? Have you seen them?
I don't even know what that is.
It's very controversial topic. Magella tabbies is certain shoe type. It's inspired by those Japanese slippers where you get your basically like jandal.
Oh
you get
yeah.
The toe. There's like a toe bit.
Oh yeah.
So like your toe, like big toe, gets separated from all the other toes. Yeah. So Magella designed shoes inspired by that, where it's like a regular shoe. Yeah. But there's like a dip in the middle. So. Yeah.
Trying to.
Can I bring that up?
Yeah, no problem.
Can I bring that up?
Before I cancel myself, why is it controversial?
Controversial?
Why is it controversial?
Oh, it's like controversial because a lot of people think it's ugly.
Oh, so that's why it's controversial. It's not like a cultural thing.
No,
okay.
no. It's not.
I was like, are you sure this is like a good idea?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, I'll know it. I'll probably know it when I see it. But,
yeah. So.
I mean.
So it's so it looks like that looks like a regular boots, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you look top down, that's how it is.
Oh, I've seen those.
Yeah.
Oh, those
Magella
things.
tabby.
Oh,
so this is like Mason Magella. It's his thing.
I've seen them because BTS have worn them before in their photo shoot.
Yes.
And I feel like with the right atmosphere, with the right photo shoot, it fits the atmosphere if you're trying to go for that atmosphere. But if I saw it out on a street, I would judge you.
What about our work?
I would judge you.
Well,
I'm not sorry for that either.
Cancel my order, guys. Cancel my order.
I would judge you, and I probably would not be the only person doing so.
But actually, I can't blame you. Like, I think if I saw someone, I mean, right now I'll be like, "Oh shit, where'd you get them?" Like, let's be friends. Let's go out for lunch. But before I'll be like, I mean,
here's the thing, right? I'll judge you, but I won't care. You kind of a thing. Like I'll look at it and be like, oh my god, you have those shoes. But then I would just forget about it in 3 seconds. But it's like, yeah, good for you, man.
Yeah.
Where'd you get them?
Okay, where'd you get them?
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking about where'd you get them, let's talk about sources. Before that, actually, I was gonna ask you, what do you do with import taxes? Is that what it's called, import taxes?
Oh my god.
Like, and how does that work?
Look, when it's separate transactions and separate parcels, you can, not really do import tax. I remember because of currency conversion, I don't know why. If anything over $1,000 comes in to New Zealand, you have to register yourself first. Literally, I remember doing this at like work one day. Back in uni, and I got a call and I had to call DHL because I had to like register myself with tax, and the taxes. Oh my god!
So this is for work.
Huh?
When you did this was for work.
Oh no, not for work. I was at work. I don't do this for a living, by the way. Just want everyone to know.
So if you're buying anything that's more than 1,000 New Zealand dollars
in a single parcel.
In a single
parcel that crosses over the border, there has to be import tax. If you break it up, then you don't. Like over a span of time, then it's a little bit outrageous, but you don't have to do that.
But for example, like a bag that costs like $1,000 or like say $2,000.
Yeah.
So for that one, you'll have to register, right?
Yeah. And you'll have to register yourself as either an individual or for commercial purposes.
Okay.
Me, not commercial purposes. So I register myself as individual. The tax, it was about $300 for something that was a little over $1,000.
Okay, so about like 30%.
Yeah, I don't know the actual percentage, but that's what I had in my experience.
Yeah. $300. Okay.
Yeah. I remember the scenario so clearly. It's because I don't put my full last name on packages. I just put L. So I remember they were just like, hey, we need you to confirm your identity because you didn't put your full last name on the package. And that was a whole ordeal. My package was stuck at customs for so long. So
so you had to explain yourself.
Yeah, I had to, I don't put it on for security purposes. So I had to provide so many like identification documents, like my passport, my driver's license, stuff like that, all that. Wow. So I was like, oh, for goodness sake. And at the time my passport was expired because it was COVID, right? I had nowhere to go. So like I was still 14. So that was a whole ordeal, but no, it got to me eventually.
Were you like, oh, I am L, Death Note? Oh my god, have you seen Death Note?
I know of Death Note.
You know of Jessie, you're missing out.
I'm not missing out because I know everything that happens in Death Note because I was surrounded by weebs. I just don't watch anime.
You don't watch anime?
I don't watch it. The only series I've ever loved was Haikyuu, and it was the manga series. I love the manga, but
is it the volleyball?
Yeah. Haikyuu because it means Haikyuu.
Is that volleyball mean?
It's not what we call it, but if you read the characters, and because usually for kanji in Japanese, you can read a character 2 ways or more than 2 ways. If you read it a certain way, it goes Haikyuu.
Right.
Yeah. So yes, volleyball.
But it's written volleyball, but there are different ways to.
Bareball is volleyball. Yeah, but Haikyuu is the anime. The series.
Right.
Because I think manga is more common in Japan over anime. But that's just my personal opinion. Don't quote me on that. But no, that was the only series I've ever liked. I have like little Nindoroids of them as well, like the cute figurines.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of official merch. But that was because I actually like volleyball. Like I do follow Japanese V-League, both women's and men's. I do have merch of them as well. Like I do follow Japanese volleyball pretty closely. That's the only reason why I like them. But no, I know exactly what happens in Death Note.
Right.
I do know who L is.
And also the characters themselves are really cool too.
Death Note or
Death Note?
Yeah. I do appreciate Death Note because like the whole moral dilemma of like is no spoilers, but is Light a good person?
What do you think?
Good intention, poor execution.
What would you have done differently?
Absolutely nothing.
You would have done that.
Yeah, no, I would have done nothing because it's kind of like the trolley problem, right?
Oh,
you see a trolley about to run over 5 people. You can pull a lever so it diverts, but it runs over another person. What would you do? I would do nothing because even though it kills more people, you did something to contribute to it. And it's like, you don't have the option. Like, this is hypothetical, right? You don't have the option. This is purely my opinion. But you don't have the option of pretending you didn't notice. Like, too bad. You noticed.
Yeah.
the least you could do is not contribute to that kind of a thing.
If I were to push you back on that, although you are physically not doing anything, but you are still making a choice.
Yeah, you're making a choice of doing nothing.
Yeah.
And I think that is the path that I personally would go down, because I physically would not be able to cope living with the guilt that I did something. That at least I made the decision to do something and it still didn't end in like the perfect situation.
But you might regret that. You might live with the regret that you didn't do anything to kill less people.
Yeah, and I sorry. I'm stumbling over my words. And yeah, I might actually will regret that. But I think if I were to, first of all, I would never be in this situation. Let's get that out of the way first. I don't have to dwell on it too much. But if I ever were in this situation, I think right now, as of where I am right now, I haven't, I've yet to fully grow up. But I think right now, don't think I would be physically able to cope with the guilt that I pulled that lever. Yeah. It's not really about the thing of like, oh, I made the decision to not do something to save more people. It's the fact that I pulled the lever. I don't think I would be able to live with that guilt. And, I don't think I've also stewed on the trolley problem enough for me to come to a model. Either way, it's not going to happen because we don't have a good enough train system for that. So, yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
If anything, those 5 people will be celebrating the trains running.
I know, right?
Sorry, that is a bad dark joke. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting.
We work right next to AT. mark your words. But right. Yeah, no, I mean that's at least my take on it. Then again, I haven't really thought about it too much. Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I can see that. I can see that.
Either way, both outcomes are bad. We have to look at it from that perspective.
Have you seen this video of like this, like it's like one of those YouTube legend videos that's like 10 years old, and it's, you know what I mean? And it's this parent asking his kid that trolley problem, and in front of the kid is like toy train track that goes 2 ways, and then there are 4 people lying here and 1 person lying here with the Legos, whatever, and then the dad like lays down what the scenario is and asks the kid what he would do. Yeah. have you seen the video?
I have not. I probably should have, but no, I don't realize this.
Right. So the kid's like driving the train, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like the dad's like, oh, so this is the situation. Like, would you go this way where there are 4 people, or would you go this way there is 1 person?
Yeah.
And the kid like looks at the train and picks up that 1 person,
puts it in with the 4,
and it just drives past the train, and it's like, and he goes, uh-oh. So this is the weirdest thing. I mean, first of all, him saying uh-oh signifies that he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He knows that that's not the best outcome. And then he still does it.
That kid is going places. Not good places, but places.
I mean, what's going on there? Are we, as humans, are we inherently
evil? Is this another Lord of the Flies debate?
I don't know. Like, what's going on?
I'd like to believe that we're not.
You're the psychologist.
Here's the thing, right? When I wrote that essay and I studied Lord of the Flies back in high school, I actually did write a whole essay about humans are inherently evil.
Well, are we?
Now that I've grown up and I'm a little bit more sensible, a little less cynical.
Okay.
No, I don't. I choose not to believe that.
Are we neutral? We're neutral, right?
Well, here's the thing, right? Lord of the Flies, now that I kind of look at it, is largely regarded as like a piss stick. Okay. Like, I know it's trying to send a message, but
I haven't read it, by the way.
It's essentially like a group of boys get stranded in the middle of World War II, stranded on an island. One group, like pretty much this one guy called, I think his name's Ralph. He's like the only one.
Ralph Lauren?
No.
Because he went on to make like a designer brand, right?
No.
Okay, different Ralph.
No, but no, he was the only one that represents good, and then there's this one other guy called Jack. I'm pretty sure his name's Jack, and like every single other boy that was stranded on the island, mind you, I think Ralph is like what 12, 13 at most. So these are like really young boys, and apparently those boys turn into savages. I think they kill someone as well.
Okay,
they kill a pig and then they put like the pig head on a stick, and that's essentially like the signify, like the It's a very iconic part of Lord of the Flies. I think you should read it. But essentially, that entire book had us debating, are humans inherently evil? And it's like, I don't know. I saw a post somewhere floating around the internet, but it ended up on Pinterest as a screenshot. But it was essentially saying that like you shouldn't use Lord of the Flies as a reflection of real life.
Right. I mean, it's a novel.
It's fiction.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people gloss past that and they use it to be like, look, this is why humans are inherently evil. And it's like, I'm not the most positive thinking person in the world, but I really don't like going down that path too much, because it's like, what does a benefit mean, like having this mindset that all humans are inherently evil? I do have this problem where I kind of think like when I meet new people, I do wonder if they have like good or bad intentions. That's just my way of like keeping myself safe. But it's not really a good outlook on humanity as a whole. At least that's my opinion.
Do you mean like good or bad intentions, like introducing themselves to you?
Yeah, essentially. Or like when someone does something I don't like, I kind of have to remind myself that like, hey, they probably didn't mean it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when they do something I don't like, for example, I probably shouldn't give examples. They're probably watching this.
Oh yeah, because it's millions of people watch us. So yeah.
Oopsie daisy. But like when someone does something that hurts me, they probably did it with good intentions. Again, good intentions, poor execution. I think that's just like a disconnect in understanding. Like they probably don't understand how I think and how I feel. But I kind of do have to remind myself, it's like, I know you're not someone who's malicious. I hope you're not someone that's malicious. But like they did something and it just did not come off the right way whatsoever. And it's like, that's not how this is going to work, you know?
Difficult part is, unfortunately, some people do things to hurt others.
Yeah, I know.
So it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's very hard to get out of their mindset, because when I was younger, I was really surrounded, not like by a lot of people. Kids aren't very smart. Like, let's just get that out of the way. Kids are not smart. I was not smart.
Kids are still learning.
Yeah, I was very blindly trusting towards other people. But a lot of kids are just real assholes. Like they're real dicks to people, and it's like there was a lot of situations. I can picture one right now when I was like 12 years old. I really just did not have the best friend at the time.
Okay.
Like there was just one friend that would like constantly put me down and actually did things with malicious intent.
Right.
Now that I'm a bit older, I kind of have to remind myself like, hey, people are grown up. Like, you know, I'm generally the youngest in every setting. I have to remind myself that people don't really wake up every day and just choose to be stupid people or like choose to be bad people. I kind of have to remind myself that, like, if they are actually like malicious people, well, I can either think about why they are like that, or I can just choose to, you know, ignore it and just, you know, try to stay away from them. But, you know, that's less common than the normal person who is good.
Yeah. I've heard this thing that said, hurt people hurt people.
Yes. Yes.
And I think I vibe with that.
It does, yeah.
I mean, I don't know, does it sound cheesy? I think it sounds a little bit cheesy, but I think I vibe with that.
Yeah. No, definitely a lot of situations. It's just that, like, the worst part is that hurt people and they don't realize they're hurting people.
Is it because they are so caught up in their own hurt?
Yes. I find situations a lot where, and I think when I was a teenager, I also fell into this, but like you get really comfortable with being sad or like being down, that when you try to work on yourself, it's like uncomfortable because you're not used to it. You've been sad for a long time. It's like very common with depression, right? You have been in this state for such a long time and you try to work on yourself to get better, and then you feel uncomfortable, so you kind of like relapse back into the state that you previously were in because you find it comfortable. And like I think that's, again, like starting is the hardest step. I definitely fell into that bad like loop when I was younger, but you know, I still see it like to this day and like, you know, very recently, and it's just
to yourself.
Like, me,
you see that like that kind of the relapse bad, like the negative feedback with yourself,
me,
or with other people.
With other people, I won't lie and say that I've like perfectly recovered or anything, but like I guess sometimes, because I remember like in late August, early September, I had a really crappy month. Yeah, and I was just like, oh, I feel like, because at least now I'm a little bit more sensible and I can recognize when things are coming back up. I think before then I was just like, you know, just going with the flow. But it's really interesting to see as I've grown older how my thinking evolves. Like being self-aware is one thing, and I think being too self-aware when I was younger kind of like was a double-edged sword. Is that what it's called? Double-edged sword?
Yeah.
But now when I'm older, I can kind of recognize that I am self-aware, but at the same time, do something about it, not just like recognize it.
Yeah.
Because I think when I was younger, I could recognize something and then that would kind of be it, because I wouldn't know what to do or wasn't in a position to do anything. Now that I'm older, I have a little bit more freedom and a little bit more free will. It's like, okay, cool. So I can do something. I can change where I am, what my environment is, do something about it. So yeah, again, not much you can do when you're a kid, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. But it's one thing that doesn't change ever is that it's hard being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Whether like if it's for the better in the future, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think that COVID was a very weird time for me because it was one of my most miserable times, but also one of my most eye-opening times because I spent it with no one but myself. And I could really learn so much about myself. Like, I think when I was 17, so 2020, right? That was like the most evolutionary year of my life where I felt like nothing fell into place. None of the puzzle pieces connected, but I could understand so much more. So I think, I don't know why I said that, to be honest. I just threw that out there. But yeah, that's kind of like the whole uncomfortable thing. Like, I was very uncomfortable during it. But, you know, now I look at where I am today and it's like, without that full isolation thing, I wouldn't be the way I am now, kind of a thing. And I'm very grateful for the fact that I am the way I am now.
Was it the main struggle that, like, the isolation?
Yeah, I think so. It's just that, like, because you can't reach anyone.
Yeah.
I've had this problem very recently, but I think it also taught me a few bad habits in COVID because right now, you know, face-to-face communication was not possible.
Yeah.
And I think my generation, it's a very big generational difference, but like we don't really call, we text.
You were 17, right? You were 17.
Yeah, I was 17.
Right?
I thought you meant like now. I thought you meant now, but
yeah, that's true. But that's been there for a while before COVID.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But,
so especially like communicating with my friends, it like especially because I find it really hard to read tone over text.
Heck yeah.
Like one, I'm autistic. Two, it's just hard.
It's
but
hard.
but now I feel like I've been trying actively. Successful or not, that's not up to me to decide, but I've been trying actively to like not take mishaps or misunderstandings over written communication too seriously.
Okay.
Because for us, like for me and friends my age, it's like, oh, this is how we show respect to each other. Like we respond enthusiastically and, you know, things like that. But I've realized with like, you know, my managers at work that's just not the case. Like I looked at my manager, right? I went to Ruopeu and I sent him a picture of the massive carrot. I said, look, a carrot. He just never responded to me. I'm like, dude, I'm showing you like a carrot. It's such a nice carrot. Please respond to me. And then he responded to me 2 weeks later in person.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's so cute. I don't know why, but that's so wholesome.
I know. I love it's my old GM as well.
Yeah.
My old general manager, not my current manager as well. But I sent him that and I was like, what? Because no, but I do remember there was this time where I was going through quite a rough patch back in April, and he would like actively text me for like half an hour. He would never do that, and I was like, oh, you
That's
know,
sweet.
the things like, you know, putting in effort to meet halfway is like me. I don't really rely on verbal communication too much. Like this is someone who just straight up picks up the phone, calls people. I've never met you in my life, but hi, hello, how are you? Kind of a situation. So yeah, like just learning because I've always been surrounded by people who are like relatively my age.
Yeah.
And the first time, like, and then I have like managers who are like twice my age, and it's like, okay, cool, I have to understand how you work. Yeah, same thing. So yeah, I think communication is a big part for me because it was the only thing I had during COVID. Like I couldn't go outside and see people, even though they live right the street over.
Yeah. And like teenage years, like such a formative years too.
Yeah, I was in uni for when I was 17 to 19.
Yeah.
And that was all in COVID.
Exactly.
So I feel like I used to lament over the fact that I didn't get enough time to be myself before all the adult responsibilities came into my life, kind of like going to work every day, blah, 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 mortgage and blah, blah. But I've recently stopped lamenting because that wasn't getting me anywhere. But I think it's good to let myself like kind of like mourn or like feel sad about it. But I don't want to feel sad for too long because I want to do something with my life. Like, okay, yeah, sure. What are you gonna do? Like, go back in time and like not have COVID take over the world? No, I'm not gonna do that. So it's kind of like a very harsh, like, get over it kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I definitely see how that has impacted me. Even like from my degree, I feel like people come out of uni like very knowledgeable, very prepared for the world. I'm just here like, well, what do I know? Yeah. So
yeah. I think 17, 18, I feel like you might have just, because I feel like the younger you are, the more impactful it would have been that period.
Yeah.
Like not seeing other people, seeing more screens, Yeah.
Because I have a friend who's like about like around 16 right now, but like she was in COVID from like 13, 14, 15. I feel like at that age, you at least have the rest of your teenage years to try and make up for it.
That's true. That's true.
It just sucked up because it was a year right after I left high school.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why? Because, those are supposed to be my uni years, I'm not trying to glorify university or anything because it's not really anything to glorify. But it's like when you kind of, that last period before the real world hits you because high school, you're kind of too young to like mean anything or anything. And working responsibilities when you finally enter, outside of uni, it's, comes at you pretty quickly. But it was just that one little period where I could just like be myself, not having to like mask anything. I just really get to learn myself. And I did that all in COVID. So I'm kind of pissed about it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can't really do anything to change it. So I've just accepted it as it was and just kind of figuring out who I am and what I live for and what my life purpose is. So yeah, I'm just doing that now.
Yeah, I think there are definitely pros and cons there, cons being like what you said.
Yeah.
But pros being what you said.
Nice.
But like
quote of the century.
But those two things very mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
You couldn't have done one, and you could not have done one thing and the other.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I think.
Did it affect you much? Because at that time you were probably working full time, right?
Yeah, I was working full time. I was living with my partner at the time.
Yeah.
I'm very much of a home person, homebody, right? I quite enjoyed the whole process of like staying home and working from home because it's like my first time working from home. I enjoyed that because you save a lot of time like commuting.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's related, but I started feeling a lot of anxiety towards the end of it. I don't know if it wasn't triggered by my fear of COVID or anything like that, but maybe subconsciously because I was staying at home, not really meeting many other people, maybe it subconsciously affected me. So, so large part, like looking at just kind of staying at home and just doing my own thing, I didn't mind it. But I wonder overall if it's affected my mental health.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, like, their mental health was, like, really starting to spiral.
Yeah.
Because, like, the first few months and whatever, it's like, oh, yes, I don't have to deal with people. But, like, over time, it's like, even, like, most introverted people eventually just kind of just get really lonely. It's like, oh, I just really want some human contact or something. Yeah. So yeah, no, that was something shocking because I was always like, oh, finally I'm alone. Everybody leave me alone. But like, I was just like, oh crap, I miss my friends. Yeah.
I mean, what buzzes me out is like in prison and stuff, like the worst punishment is like isolation.
That was a big jump. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show like how much of a social animal we are. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think about that. Like,
it's like, are humans inherently evil? No. Are we meant to be alone? That's actually another thing that I thought about a lot. I used to think that we're inherently independent, but now I'm thinking maybe we're not.
Oh no, I think we're inherently dependent.
Yeah.
I think,
of course.
Yeah. No, What else? That's right. I was gonna actually ask you about that carrot. The giant carrot.
Oh yeah, the carrot.
Yeah, is that anything to do with Englishman? Is that Josh?
Oh yeah, Jolly.
Jolly, yeah. Is that his
Hunter.
carrot?
No, there was originally a very big carrot in Oakune because carrot. But because his name is Josh Carrot.
Josh Carrot, right? Yeah.
They have a little rocket thing, a carrot rocket at the park now called the Jolly Rocket.
Yeah.
After they visited it.
But it's not the one they used though. It's the different one.
It's like the iconic massive carrot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, true. So it's different carrots.
No, different carrot.
Yeah. Different carrots.
Yeah. It's like, it's not actually only a carrot. The big carrot is only like the highlight, but there's actually other quite disturbing vegetables in the park as well. Yeah, because they have faces and they're like making weird poses. I'm just like, oh my god.
Right.
Straight out of my nightmares, but okay.
Who told me about that Josh Carrot and the carrot, like the whole story in New Zealand? Izo.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he's a big fan of what's his name? Englishman.
Yeah, Korean Englishman.
Yeah. Yeah, big fan of Izo is a big fan of him apparently.
Yeah.
I went to see him when he came to New Zealand and
over there
and stuff. Yeah.
Did
you know that?
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh, you knew that?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did. But yeah. That was for the grad ski trip.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Makes sense.
We have a photo next to the carrot.
Yes. Before we go on, could you please open this for me?
Yeah, no
I've been
problem.
trying with one hand like for ages. And thank you.
There we go.
Yeah, this is my gripe. Vitamin water, their bottle is not designed to be opened in a very elegant way.
Well, there's your sponsorship gone. Don't spit it out.
I'm going for Mecca now. Mecca, please.
What value proposition would you get on Mecca? Real talk. Have you ever been in a Mecca?
Yes, I have.
Oh, well, I'm surprised.
I was buying a sun cream for my Secret Santa 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Which one did you settle on? I will judge you on your answer.
I had a specific one that she liked.
And you don't remember it?
I don't remember it.
No,
It was like small, goes in the... Yeah, but...
Do you remember what color it was?
I remember it had a lot of writings on it. Do you know like every product in Mecca and stuff?
Was it Kiehl's? Mario
Could have been Kiel.
No, okay.
Could have been Kiel. Because I know what Kiel, like the logo looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not every product, but I do regularly stalk their like new in page, and because I'm like, one of the loyal customers, I do go into the store to collect my rewards. So yeah, I do know quite a lot of what goes in Mecca, begrudgingly.
So talking about YouTube, right? Now we're back to our notes, guys. Talking about YouTube, you've been thinking about.
Oh God.
You said you've been kind of thought about like starting YouTube or podcast or something like that.
Yes.
I was thinking, in this podcast, we could brainstorm a little bit.
Oh God.
Come up with some ideas.
Okay.
What can we talk about?
Oh no.
And I have some suggestions. Obvious one, number one right here. Your bag.
I will get roasted. I will get dragged so hard on the internet.
Would you mind that? Because some people are more resilient than others.
I know, but I don't do this as like a professional thing, so I feel like I don't ask for criticism and I don't do it for monetary gain either, because I do follow a lot of like leatherwork people, but they do it as their lifestyle,
Right.
And it's like if for example, if you do art for a living, you need to like like if you do like journalism or stuff like that, like you live for critique. Your dream is like, oh my god, I hope like a really famous like art critic will like critique my art and stuff like that. But I'm not that. Please, I just want to be alone. Leave me alone.
But okay, so you wouldn't do that? Anything like that?
No.
It would be cool though. I don't know.
I feel like as probably short form video, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think because nowadays short form content is more popular. Yeah, definitely not like full fledged YouTube videos. I kind of look at like what do I like to watch on YouTube, and it's like
you should do that.
Dan and Phil Minecraft videos, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna do that.
You're not gonna do Minecraft videos?
No.
No.
I'm not. I don't talk enough to myself to fill up the space with like commentary. Yeah. Also, I think I'm getting to a point where I like watching other people do videos more than play video games more than playing video games myself. Because I feel like, one, they're better than the game than me. They're better at the game than me. And two, man, I just can't be bothered. I feel like whenever I had to play a video game that makes me have to like think, like think logically, I'm just like, oh my god. Because when I was 12, I was like a very heavy gamer. Like, because my brother got an Xbox 360. It soon became my Xbox 360 when he started high school. He went to Auckland Grammar, so he didn't have a lot of time for that. But yeah, no, all his games like Battlefield 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Oh, it's so much.
Doesn't mean anything to me.
Oh, you don't play video games?
Shooting games, right?
Yeah,
first person shooting.
Yeah, FPS. Yeah.
Oh, like I get motion sickness. So, I mean, I know that they're FPS, but do they?
Sorry, I'm laughing because it really doesn't suit my image. Like nowadays, I'm just like, hi, I like Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley.
I played Club Penguin when I was younger.
Yeah. But Stardew Valley looks fun.
It is really fun. Yeah, I think it's more fun playing with other people. But when you're like on a farm by yourself, it's like, oh, okay. But yeah, no, it's really fun. I used to play with other people. Yeah.
You know what looks really fun? Animal Crossing. That looks really fun.
It does. I just think because I wanted a Nintendo Lite Switch or a Switch Lite for the longest time, but I kind of feel like looked at Animal Crossing. I don't know if I have the patience for it.
It seems very grindy.
It's very grindy, which is why I don't. Which is like Stardew Valley eventually gets a little bit tiring if you're playing by yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like Animal Crossing, I just don't fit the vibe of Animal Crossing. It's not like I wake up every day and crave violence, but at the same time, I feel like Animal Crossing is a little bit too calm for me.
Yeah.
Like I need some drama in my life.
Yeah, nah, fair. So, are you playing any game now?
No, I don't have time.
Games.
No. Yeah, I mean, I barely get time during the weekday, and then I have like the weekends, and I'm just too tired to like use any mental energy.
Okay, so no gaming. That's fine. That's fine. We can work through this, Jessie. No leather work. No gaming. How about fashion? Holes. You can do hauls. You can do reviews.
Not educated enough, nor do I have enough capital to constantly be buying shit.
That's true, but
you know what I really wanted to do at a point? I had a bullet journal. Do you know what those are?
Nah.
When I was 17, it's essentially journaling, right? You make it very pretty, and you have like a studying thing. I really wanted to like make like a study, like a gram, like we call them study grams back when I had Instagram a very long time ago. But I wanted to have like one of those where I can just kind of like document everything I like study, make pretty notes and stuff like that. I would also make a lot of things like embroidery, stuff like that. So I was hoping I could like put some on Instagram. I can't upkeep anything. I cannot upkeep a social media account to save my life, which is why I got rid of everything.
Yeah.
But also, contrary to the fact that I really like learning, I hate studying. I just cannot. I've always relied on the fact that I've had a good memory all my life.
Okay.
So in a way, it's a bit awkward to admit this out to everybody, but I don't really know how to study because I've kind of just relied on my good memory to carry me through to the exam. And then as soon as the exam is over, poof, I know nothing.
Yeah.
So, which is the life of like pretty much every student, but I haven't really needed to put that much effort into anything to get what I want, like academic wise, which sounds extremely cocky, but that's just the reality. So I feel like a bit of anguish because I don't know what it means to study, which is why I don't really consider doing anything like a master's or a PhD, simply because I know that I have to put effort into it. And I like putting effort into things. Like I don't, my grad diploma was purely a choice. I'm doing it purely out of my own interest because I need a bachelor's for a job. Like, let's be honest, that's the reality. But, my diploma right now is purely for my own interest. But that's something I like, which motivates me to put in, effort. In my bachelor's, there was nothing motivating me to put in effort to study, simply other than the fact that, like, hey, you need a degree to get a job.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay, cool.
What was I saying? But yeah, no, I don't know how to study, and and that's kind of like I don't really know how to upkeep anything.
Do you think you're more of a hands-on person? Because when you made this, you obviously had to study.
Yes.
Right?
Definitely more of a do person, which is kind of like why I like working so much as compared to studying, because you don't really do anything. Because I remember it was very pivotal for me joining my current job, my previous role in the company that we work at. It's because I remember the reason why it meant so much to me is because it was the first thing that I did that actually contributed to something real. So, you know, with the interns at work nowadays, I kind of, you know, I really encourage them to get involved in this like certain thing, because that is going to contribute to something very real that's going to be used in like very real like financial situations. I'm a finance graduate, by the way, but like very real like financial reporting that will carry on within the business. So I think it's very good that the interns are getting to experience that, but I didn't get to experience that until I started this job.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm definitely more of a hands-on person, which is why I like work so much compared to study.
But once you start, say like you start a channel,
Mm-hmm.
it's about fashion or it's about leatherwork.
Yeah.
Once you do that, now everything's hands-on, because in order to create content,
Yeah.
you have to learn those things. You know what I mean? So it becomes more of a do rather than just learning for the sake of learning.
I think that's mainly a part as well, because like starting a channel, right? Like there's always gonna be, the reason why it's never really lasted is because there's that nagging feeling that I have to do it. It's no longer out of pure enjoyment anymore, and I feel like
That's
I don't
true.
have that level of enjoyment to do it.
Yeah.
Instead of a YouTube channel, I can tell you something I've been working on though. I've been planning out the outline for a book that I want to write.
Is it content exclusive?
Huh?
Is it content like my podcast exclusive? Like
yeah, I've
info?
never really told. I've kind of like mentioned it offhand to a few people, like, oh, I don't know, maybe kind of write a book.
But no other
no,
podcast, right?
I've
Yeah,
just
you heard
I've
it here first.
started like drafting on yesterday, literally. So yeah, that's the thing I'm looking
Okay, you
towards.
want to write a book?
Yeah, I have
Okay.
written like a novel before, but it wasn't like a like fully like hard copy published.
Yeah.
It just kind of existed on the internet for like a year before I took it down. But yeah, no, I did get something out of that. But no, I want to like sit down and like write a proper
Oh.
book, and I kind of make it a goal to like kind of have it out by the time I turn 22,
Okay.
which is next year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what is it about? Do you know what it's like, the genre, what it's about?
Yes.
How long it's gonna be?
No spoilers though. I can tell you in private, but I don't want it out on the internet.
Yeah,
because I think
sure.
some people I know will be watching this podcast.
Yeah. So off the screen, off the
Yes.
behind the screen. You know,
Can.
once that's
Can do that.
yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. No, that's good. Yeah. No, cool. That's cool. So that's gonna
Yeah.
keep you busy, obviously.
Oh yeah, definitely.
for-
It gives me something to do, because I feel like starting it is the hardest part again with anything. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So what else? What else? Because we talked about. Yeah. Now I'm always like. It's a selfish reason. You know, there's no other way to say it.
Yeah.
I love seeing people like create content,
Mm-mm.
and I love to see like their creativity and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, if you are on this podcast, I invited you because I think you are cool, and I think you have a lot of things I'm interested in you know?
Yeah.
So my views always like, oh, like why don't you start a content? Because you're so interested. You got all this talent. You got all this knowledge. Yeah.
It's a thing I think about sometimes, because like, oh, you have, you know, something you're interested in, why not share it with the world?
Yeah.
But I think I don't really want to be pressured to share it with the world. Like, I'll share it to people around me, but I feel like as soon as it goes out to the world, you're like kind of opening yourself to things that you aren't really prepared for.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't really have a problem taking criticism, but at the same time, when I don't ask for it seems a little bit weird. Especially when, you know, criticism implies that you're taking it very, very seriously. And I'm not saying that I'm not taking it seriously, but I don't really want to take it seriously to a point where I have to like abide rigidly to every single rule, and, you know, whatnot.
That's fair. I think I come to realize that how much I'm into YouTube, and I've been taking it for granted.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't even watch YouTube. I realize that because I do interviews.
Yeah.
Like last week, did I tell you this? I went like doing like live interviews last week. I just took my microphone and like.
No, I don't think
Okay,
so.
I don't think I may not have told you, but so last weekend was like the last weekend where this recurring comedy show was on.
Yeah.
So they've been doing. They're called Snort. They do like improv comedy.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing it for 10 years.
Oh yeah.
And last Saturday was their last day.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, me and my friends were going to that, and we've been going there for like this year.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we're a big fan. We've been going like every week almost.
Yep.
Let me go there and oh, it would be cool to interview people. Like it would be something different for my channel, something different for my like podcast, and then also I feel like I will learn something out of it, and it sounds fun, and it's something that I enjoy doing anyway. And I went there, and I obviously, so I did like one-on-one interviews, and they were like, each of the interviews was like, I don't know, 3 minute to 5 minute long interviews. So quite quick paced, right? So I prepared like questions I was gonna ask. So I was gonna ask like kind of the typical ones, like how long have you been going to snort? Like what are you gonna do now that this is not recurring anymore? And things like that. And I also asked general questions like, oh, do you listen to any podcast? And what's your favorite YouTube channel? And things like that. And I realized that most people there, they didn't have a favorite YouTube channel.
Because they don't watch
They
YouTube.
don't watch YouTube.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I think, and I've had this experience quite often. I'll ask like, oh, what's your favorite YouTube channel? And I'm keen to talk about it. But that's not have happened enough. And I think now, like looking at it now, I realize now, like, okay, like I am into YouTube and I grew up with YouTube. So I just assume people also went through that. But it's not true.
Like a couple of coworkers don't know who Markiplier is. They don't know what Five Nights at Freddy's is. I was telling someone about the fact that I went to go watch a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and I was like, oh my god, I'm such a wimp. And then just like, why did you not go to the movie? And then I just realized, oh wait, you don't even know that it's a horror movie. Oh my god. You fossil.
I was telling like people that I'm a bro. I'm a like day one bro.
PewDiePie.
And they're like, oh, what's that? I'm like, okay, like sure, like you know, like maybe bro is such a general term. So I said, oh, like, I'm a big fan of PewDiePie. They're like, oh, who's that? Like, what's that even? And I'm like, whoa, because for me, like PewDiePie is like a big part of my you know growing up. And I remember one time as well, like I was telling people about, oh guys, Mr. Beast's new chocolates come out, and they're like, who? I was like, damn, we're talking about the biggest content creator on one of the biggest platforms. Speaking of Mr. Beast chocolate,
do you know that our Countdown Metro sells it?
That's where I got them from.
Oh yeah,
that's where I got them from.
I tried it.
Did you not like it?
I come to realize that I'm just not a big chocolate fan in general, so I just have a very biased opinion. No shade to the chocolate brand.
No
I feel
shade.
Like if you like the chocolate, like my other friends like the chocolate, I just didn't like chocolate.
Yeah,
I just didn't like the chocolate because I just don't like chocolate. So I'm just not in the market anyway. So yeah.
Mr. Beast, I love your product. I'm a big fan of
Are you just trying to get sponsorships this entire episode?
I will get sponsorship.
Next episode, you're just going to have a bar of chocolate. Start eating it halfway through.
Such a delicious chocolate. And I tried them. No, I like them, but I'm kind of like you. Like, it's sugar. Like, how bad can it be? How bad tasting can it be? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be like, I don't know. I mean, I like that. Apparently, it's got like a cane. They use cane sugar.
Oh yeah.
Which apparently is better than like other processed sugars.
So do you have a sweet tooth?
Nah.
No, I don't. I really don't.
I mean, I do appreciate sweet things.
Oh, but like my one most hated food in the entire world is a marshmallow. I really cannot stand marshmallows. It's just sugar.
Yeah. I'm with you. I do like s'mores though.
That's chocolate on marshmallows.
Oh, that's burnt marshmallow.
That's still a marshmallow.
It tastes nice. I don't know why, but it tastes nice.
I know. I've had a s'more, and I guess I'm just a marshmallow hater. That's my hot take.
Well, what were we talking about?
Starting
we're just talking about YouTube. Yeah. Okay. No, that's fair. I think I need to get my head out of YouTube a little bit, just because I'm in it. Not everyone's in it. I'm happy with being a consumer, an end user, if you want to call it, but not really like a creator. That's fair.
A project owner.
That's fair. Actually, speaking of Five Nights at Freddy's and Hunger Games, you went to watch Hunger Games, right?
I did. Yes.
Yeah. How are those two?
I'll start on the Hunger Games first. Gorgeous movie. I really loved it.
Yeah.
Gorgeous movie. It's just that it made me so nauseous with how violent it was. That's the whole point of the Hunger Games, though. But I think I watched it. It was an eye-opening experience for me because while it was such a beautiful movie, I remember watching the first Hunger Games when I was 11. It didn't come out when I was 11. It came out way earlier before that. But I remember watching it when I was 11 because otherwise I would be too young. It's rated M, right? I don't remember processing that the people participating in the Hunger Games were children.
True.
I don't remember Rue being a child. That's how I perceived it. But now after the movie, I watched the most recent Hunger Games. I kind of Googled up Rue, and I was like, oh, that's a child.
What, like we're talking 11, 12?
Yeah, like visibly a child.
Yeah.
But,
sure.
And now when I was watching the Hunger Games, it was like, again, a very young child. And they were less gruesome with her death scene. It's not a spoiler because people die in the Hunger Games, by the way. But they were a lot less gruesome with the death scene. But I swear to God, I nearly threw up in the during that movie so many times. It was just so much for me. But then again, I'm someone with not really a strong stomach, I feel like if you watch it, you wouldn't have that much of a problem. But like for me, it was so much because I got a gold class ticket, right? Okay. I usually do this about like once a month, and then like I asked my friends like, hey, what should I get like food there? And I had like really nice food. Halfway through, I was like, I can't stomach this down because it was so much. It was so much for me. But I was, I had like a nice sundae with like carpety ice cream and anything. And I just watched it melt for like 10 minutes because I was like, I can't do that. I can't do this. But again, like, aside from the fact that I'm a wimp, it was a gorgeous movie. I really recommend you watch it. It's because I actually read the book later that night when I went home, which is why I woke up late and I was late to work the next morning. But I realized that there are truly some things that you cannot convey from book to movie. Like simple nuances. I remember watching the end of that movie and going like, wait, what happened? But then I read the book and it all made sense, which is why I kind of like, I'm very much a book over movie kind of person, because even though the visuals are beautiful, but the book, like the nuances and the things that go unsaid like mean a lot more when they're in written word, which is why I appreciate the book a bit better. But the Hunger Games, again, beautiful movie. I really recommend people watch it. I would actually try and maybe watch it again because at least I know like where all the very violent parts are, so I can at least process the movie properly this time. One of the characters does actually throw up because of the violence in the movie, so I guess I'm not alone in that. As for Five Nights at Freddy's though, I was actually thinking about it on the way here. I know what happens in the movie because I watched it and I was there. Yeah. But I don't remember what happens in the movie because I was distressed the entire time. Yeah. I had my cardigan, right? It's that cardigan, but it's like black, right? If I hold it up in front of my face when a scary scene comes up, my cardigan is see-through. So I'm still watching the movie, right?
Just close your eyes, Jessie.
No, but here's the thing, right? When I close my eyes, I have to go like this because like it's bad enough seeing it, but I also hearing it, so I have to go like this. But at the same time, I feel like I don't want to miss out on anything important. But oh my god, every time, because it's Five Nights at Freddy's, right? It kind of like operates, the movie kind of goes by like day, night. Whenever it would hit nighttime, I'd be like, oh fuck, here we go again. I just like hide it. Because I watched it with two of my friends, and then one of them was like, oh my god, Jessie, I think you need to hold my hand. And then the other friend, who was a guy, he's like, can you hold my hand? Oh, it was so funny, but I would not ever watch that alone. It was very good that I watched it with two other people, but oh my god, I was just distressed the entire movie.
Was it scary? Or what's
no, I'm just the wimp.
Yeah?
No, the Scott, the guy, he enjoyed it a lot. I was like, damn, it's very good. But like Anna and I were like, I remember, the Universal like Studios, the opening line with the let it go over the globe, right? Yeah. To fit the Five Nights at Freddy's theme, there's like static. Statics. I remember the first static came up and then I just heard someone next to me whimpering and I'm just like, already? Already? Sooner or later, I like ate my words because the first major jump scare that came up, oh my god, I've never done this in my life. You know how like when you yell, like you whisper very loudly? Yeah. I whispered like the F word so loudly. I've never done that before. And I just like laughed about it for the next minute. Yeah. It was so embarrassing.
Oh.
It's like when a character in a horror movie opens like a door, like you can kind of expect a jump scare. I feel like I was too comfortable. I was like, oh, nothing's happened yet, and then suddenly it came up. It wasn't even that scary. It's so embarrassing. But I recommend you watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty bad with horror movies too.
You can't be worse than I am. You simply cannot be worse.
I feel
than
like
I
I
am.
wouldn't be scared because I don't know. I don't know. But like my only exposure to Five Nights at Freddy's, I haven't played the game or anything.
Yeah.
It's just the game theory. Just listening to like the lores and things.
Oh god. Oh, I actually really enjoyed how the movie, like knowing the lore, actually made me enjoy the movie a lot more because I was just like, oh, it lines up perfectly. But at the same time, I think the movie is like a good standalone movie. Like you don't have to have any background context of Five Nights at Freddy's to enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
So like that's great on their part. Speaking of the Hunger Games in Five Nights at Freddy's, Josh Hutcherson plays the main character in Five Nights at Freddy's. He was Peter in the Hunger Games.
Okay.
Yeah. Just something
I haven't seen Hunger Games.
Right, okay, never mind. All right. But yeah, no, I really recommend you watch it. I don't think you'll be scared. I'm just a wimp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leatherwork.
Oh god. Again? Why?
I guess we touched on this. Well, one of the notes I had was the bag you made was nice.
Thanks.
Just so that like I remember to show it. Well, I think this is time for cow questions. Have you got to the cow questions because you've been listening to Jess's episode?
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Oh yeah, cow questions. This is something that we do at the as one of my segments.
Oh yeah.
And what it is literally I ask you random questions and you answer them.
What does the cow have?
What does a cow have to do this? So cow questions. So what happened was, so me and Jess used to flat together.
Yeah.
So we lived together, right? And then, so this was during lockdown.
Yeah.
So we tried out like kind of different board games and we experimented with different games and stuff.
Yeah.
And one day, one of our flatmates at the time.
Yeah.
She bought this game called, I don't know what the game was called, but the game was like, it's something to do with cow or something, you know?
Okay.
So you open it up. There's like a pink cow in the middle, and it's got a bunch of cards next to it.
Yeah.
So the cards have questions on them, but it's designed for kids. So the questions be like, what's your favorite color?
Okay.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
All right. So it's not like trivia or anything, right? Because I don't want to embarrass myself
Yeah, no,
more.
it's not that. It's more like personal questions.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, nice.
What's your favorite birthday
Yeah.
gift and stuff?
No, like I have a list of like 30 questions on my phone that I wrote myself that I kind of like ask every now and then for an icebreaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have them on your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, do you have questions for us? I'm kind of interested.
Okay.
I already know these questions.
Right. Oh, but I would love to see what some of the questions are because
yeah,
I might add to my repertoire.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So why like the kind of twist and turn with my like how we kind of evolved the game was that because those questions were very mild,
childish.
You know what I mean? It's very mild, right?
Oh,
and
no.
us being adults, we spice things up.
Oh,
and
no.
usually that means like.
Oh,
You know,
no.
like
Oh,
spice
no.
things up, like R18, R19.
Oh,
You know,
no.
the adult stuff. But
Oh,
we're like,
no.
that is spice. That is a spice. But we spiced up things like a bit more like what's the kind of like more toward not that extreme, but more towards what is the meaning of life kind of question.
So existential crisis questions.
That kind of question. But that needs more thinking. And then the purpose of the cow was that whoever's answer that's kind of is like an outlier compared to others. So say like there are 5 of us, and the question is what's your favorite color?
Yeah.
Everyone says blue, someone says purple.
Yeah.
They get the cow.
Yeah.
And that's the whole game.
Okay.
So for some reason we had the cow watching over us when we play the game.
Yeah.
But we will write down our own questions
Oh yeah.
on a piece of paper and put it in the middle, and we'll have a couple of drinks, and we take turns like opening the questions up. So that was super fun for some reason.
Yeah.
So I thought with Jess, I'll bring those questions up.
Yeah.
And then since then, I've been just throwing the questions out.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So so question number 1. So this is kind of, once you get like the first question, you know what the kind of the like what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Who has had the most positive impact on your life?
2 people come to mind. My year 11 math teacher for NCA level 2. I still remember her name and face so clearly.
What's her name?
Miss Raphael.
Oh.
I will not give her away her first name, but she used to teach. She doesn't teach in my high school anymore, but we were like the extension class, so we were, the extension class. You can kind of imagine what that is, but it was very intense because I felt like quite overwhelmed when I first got into it. Because like when you're like 15, you don't really know much.
No.
Like 16, 15, you don't really know much other than what you know at that moment. So it was kind of overwhelming for me, but I think she was very tough on us, but she was also very inspiring as well. I remember like actually crying over the fact that the school year ended.
Aww.
Yeah, like that's how much. And she left us like a quote. She printed out like a quote like of advice on paper, and I've actually kept that with me ever since. I used to keep it behind my phone case.
Okay.
Not anymore because I now keep it like stuck between the pages of a journal. I think it's actually in my wallet as well because I made like a copy of it and I keep it in my wallet and I just kind of keep it around with me. But yeah, no, she's really like stuck with me, and the fact that I thought of her first is actually very it makes me very happy that I still regard her in that way.
What's the quote?
It's very long. It was just kind of like how you go about life, thinking something about life. I'll dig it up, but like it really resonated with me that time because high school was not a great time for me mentally. I was trying to figure out who I was and dealing with undiagnosed like neurodivergency. It was just really rough for me. So I think at that time, like I felt really seen and really heard by her. And she's never done things like tutor me one-on-one or anything, but I felt like her presence was just very inspiring.
Yeah.
And, she was funny, but she was also, tough on us because she wanted us to be like, better.
Yeah.
And I think that was like one of the first instances when I had like an adult figure in my life that was harsh on us because she really wanted the best for us. And, I don't really get that with a lot of adults when I was younger. So that's why she was stuck with me, that she has stuck with me for a long time. And the second one was actually my previous general manager at work in my first role.
Wow.
And that's because there's just something about the way that he carried himself is that he's so knowledgeable, he's so smart, and yet not once has he ever made me feel stupid or little or like less, And I think those are the leaders that are just really inspiring to me. And I don't idolize anyone, but I feel like I look up to him. I feel like if I'm ever a leader, I would want to be, like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if anyone would know who it is, but yeah, no, he's the one I sent the carrot to and he didn't respond. But no, I still feel very happy when I see him around work and I'm just like, hi. And I have very fond memories with him because like, he thinks really fast and I feel like he really pushed me to my very limits to the point that I grew. And I'm very very grateful for that experience. So yeah, those are my two people.
Nice. Question number 2. If you could use a time machine, would you rather have one that only goes back in time or only goes forward?
I would never want to go back in time. Regret is a very strong thing with me because I feel like I live my life to have no regrets. I don't particularly regret anything because I have this mindset that I don't regret anything that I've done because at that time it was exactly what I wanted to do, and I feel like I shouldn't want to change that because where I am today, like for what I have seen and what I've encountered, I feel like I couldn't be happier with how I turned out after all that. So I would go into the future. I would have a time machine that goes into the future. Whether I wanted to use it is a whole different story. Probably not, to be honest. But no, I would just never want a time machine that goes back in time. Yeah.
Number 3. If money wasn't an object, what would you do?
Be a musician.
Job. Yeah?
Be a musician.
Full-time musician?
Yeah. I love music and I would love creating it. I think that's my go-to thing for everything. Like being music production, being a musician. Yeah.
Are you creating music now with your samples?
Oh no, not anymore. Haven't really had the time, but it's something that I kind of like am looking to go back into. It's just that right now I haven't really had the creative energy to do it. I'm shockingly uncreative at the times where I need to be creative. And about 4 a.m. I suddenly have a surge of energy. So it doesn't really operate well on my schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Question number 4.
Mm-hmm.
What is something you are terrible at but wish you could do well?
I should have a lot of answers to this, and now I can't think of anything. I probably, honestly, studying. I know I've just talked about this, but the whole thing of being so reliant on a natural gift of mine is that it's made me a little bit reluctant that when I'm not perfect at something at the first try, I get a little bit down and reluctant. I've managed to kind of like not let that get in the way. It's like, okay, cool. To be good at something, you need to suck at it first. Like, as with a lot of things. But I think that's something I really wanted to do, but want to be good at. Yeah. Because again, it's like just putting in effort to something that even if you aren't always motivated to do it, you still want to do it.
Yeah. Good answer. Number 5. What is one childhood memory that you remember especially well?
I don't know why this is the first one that always comes to mind, because I feel like I should have a lot of childhood. Okay, define childhood.
I think it's up to you. Like, whatever you think, like, was your childhood.
Well, that's deep.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. Well, I'll just say the first thing that comes to my mind. Childhood memory. Okay, I don't really consider 16 childhood, so I'll just say this anyway. I went to a concert.
Yeah.
And it was Troye Sivan, and I remember seeing there was like concert, and it was just blue light, and I just remember distinctly seeing someone with their phone screen on, and they were waving their arm just so slowly. It's something so simple, but that image is just burned in the back of my mind because I just felt it was so beautiful at the time.
Aww.
Like the entire stadium was just like filled with blue light, this music, one of my favorite songs at the time, and there was just this one person just genuinely being so happy in that moment, and that image is just burned to the back of my mind.
Yeah.
That is like 16 though, so I wouldn't call that childhood. My earliest childhood memory was a massive teddy bear when I was 1 year old. I still have it. It's about this big, but when you're like a child, it's a giant teddy bear. And I remember hanging out with my cousin over a teddy bear. Apparently we fought over it. I don't remember that part. Yeah. But it was me, my cousin in China, and a massive teddy bear that I still have. Yeah.
Nice. Now, I think the Troye Sivan one counts too, even if you're 16.
Yeah.
What?
It's not that long ago.
What fictional character do you most relate to?
Oh, God. Do I relate to any fictional character?
It could be no one.
Yeah, I don't... I really feel like I should have an answer for this, but I feel like right now I just don't.
Yeah? That's fine.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like right now I've recently been reading like non-fiction books a lot more, so I don't really relate to like a fictional character.
What is a childhood habit or preference that you never grow out of? Could also be known for this too. Could also be nothing for this question too.
Childhood habits. Oh, again, I feel like I should have a lot of answers to this, and I feel like I do things a lot of the time in like very specific ways. I'm just trying to think of one. There's a plethora of them. I just can't think of them right now. If it comes to me in a conversation, I'll bring it up.
Okay. If you could ask your future self one thing, what would it be?
Are you happy? I feel like that's a very generic question that a lot of people would ask, but I feel like that's something like, because, like, what is the end goal of life? I feel like I feel like it's happiness. Then again, like, what do you define as happiness? So I feel like, are you happy is kind of like, it holds a lot of weight to it, at least for me. I don't think, for some people it might not matter as much, but like for me, it's like, are you happy? Like, are you content with life? Actually, it will probably be more about, do you regret anything?
Right.
Yeah. And I would want it to be a yes or no answer. I don't want it to be like, tell me specifically what you regret, because first of all, this is never going to happen.
Butterfly effect kind of thing.
But like, but if they were to tell me, oh yeah, I do regret X, Y, and Z, I'm going to spend my entire life avoiding X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So I would ask them, actually change the answer. I would ask them, do you regret anything? And I want it to be a yes or no answer.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Do you have opinions on that?
No. I was gonna say it would be a difficult one to say no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's just so easy to regret something. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But it's interesting that you would ask that question despite knowing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think right now I would say I don't regret anything. Had you asked me like half a year ago, I would say I regret something.
Right.
Yeah. But
That's
now,
true,
now,
actually.
like right now, as of the second, I
Yeah.
don't regret anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on you. That's I know. I mean, must have been pretty tough to get there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got here in the end, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good to hear. Because they would, in terms of that they would translate to that you're happy right now.
In this moment, I am
in
happy.
this moment.
Yeah.
Damn, you heard it here first on my Everything Goes with Pascal podcast.
Check back in an hour. I'm kidding. No.
What is the best advice you've ever received?
Advice. You can do everything right and still fail. That is not weakness. That is just life.
Who said that?
I read that somewhere, but I was told a variation of it very recently. Things like, just because it makes complete logical sense and you expect fairness doesn't mean that you're going to get it.
True.
That's just life. And that's how you build resilience to the reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I also heard that somewhere now that you say it like that.
Yeah. For context, this was me going for a job I wanted.
Okay.
That I didn't get.
Yeah.
The one that I kind of told you about. And it's just that I was in a very specific situation where there were many reasons why I could not get the job, but I went to go try anyway. And it's like, just because something makes complete logical sense, and, you know, just because I didn't get it doesn't mean that I failed or anything. That's just life. And that's just how it goes. Like, life is not fair. But at the same time, I don't really think that you should just be content with the whole life is not fair thing. Like, building resilience to the realities of life and questioning everything, drawing your own conclusions and fighting for them are two things that can coexist. But I think the first one is just a reminder that, like, just because you expect fairness doesn't mean you're always going to get it. It's just the whole, like, entitlement factor. It's just, once you remove that, at least for me, once I got rid of that line of thinking, I've just become a more happier person.
Yeah. What trait do you admire in others but don't possess yourself?
Not overthinking. Very simple, straight to
Yeah.
the point. I don't get how some people can just think of nothing. And I specifically mean that as a woman looking at other men and how they can just think of nothing. That is something that I just cannot fathom. Like, how do you not think of anything? You're always thinking of something. What do you mean you can just stare at a wall and not think of nothing? It's so weird. I kind of just look at someone and they just have like a 1,000-yard stare, like dead fisheye kind of stare. When I do that, I'm like deep in thought, like deep like contemplation. And then I kind of ask them, it's like, are you okay? They're just like, oh yeah, sorry, I just zoned out. I'm like, how do you do that? I'm like,
it's a
damn.
Roman Empire, you know.
Oh my god, not you two. Yeah, no, oh my god, I cannot. Yeah, no, I would love to just sometimes think of nothing. I feel like I overthink too much because I just keep thinking.
What is something you're happy with yourself?
Any specific category?
Not just in general, like I guess more towards like characteristics, I guess.
My ability to grow, my willingness to grow as a person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think self-development, but also knowing which direction to develop, because you can self-develop, doesn't mean it's always good. But willingness to grow as a person.
Yeah. In a Freaky Friday situation where you woke up in someone else's body, who would you like to be for a day and have them inhabit your body?
someone extremely rich so I can just make one bank transfer and that's it. Like, I'll transfer just enough money so that they won't notice anything, but it'll probably be like pocket change. Like, I don't feel really comfortable with, like, let's say, I don't know, like a rich male billionaire inhabiting my body, so I'll probably pick Taylor Swift.
They'll be fun.
Like, first of all, I love singing. I don't know, I could probably do a job for a day, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe one day where you're, like, not on the tour, but at the same time, it's like, oh, her cats are cute as well. I kind of wouldn't like see her cats.
Yeah.
But no, I would do a bank transfer.
Yeah. She wouldn't notice.
Yeah, she wouldn't.
She wouldn't notice.
That's the thing. But you know.
What small, insignificant thing gives you joy?
Oh, I do have an answer for this one. You know when bus drivers pass each other, they give like a little wave? That makes me so happy. It's so wholesome. It happened with the NX2 and I was driving in.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I was coming in, I was like, and they're just like, hey bro, and it's like, oh my god, that's so wholesome.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh my god, it brings me so much indescribable joy. Also, birds. I love birds.
You love birds?
I love birds. I know some people hate pigeons and stuff like that, but I remember when in high school, right? You shouldn't feed like the little sparrow like little birds, but I remember when they would get so like puffy and like chubby, and they would like their tummies would touch the ground, and they'd be like little marshmallows. I hate marshmallows, but I like birds. You know, it's like I just love like cute birds.
Cute birds.
Like
small chubby birds.
Yes, they just bring me so much joy. But yeah, no, just very wholesome moments. Like cute birds and people enjoying life.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ah, that's a good answer. So I've got one more segment before we finish it off. But
Sure.
before that, should we go through your ones?
Sure.
So pick out some of the like three of the best ones, three of your favorite ones.
Oh dear. Do you want like ones that won't make you spiral into like a?
Oh, I reckon pick your favorite ones.
Oh good lord. Okay. There it is. All right. There is a quote from Jean-Paul Gaultier that I like. There is not one kind of beauty, but many, many kinds of beauty. What are some things in life that you find beautiful?
What are some things in life that you find beautiful?
Yes.
Do you have answers for all these questions?
Yes. Kind of. I do have to think about them, but I generally do have answers to all of them.
So I live in a neighborhood where there are a lot of families around here. And because of that, there are a lot of kids around here, right? Sometimes when I go for a run and come back, I'm coming back after like work or something.
Yeah.
And I'm just chilling in my room. I hear like kids playing outside, laughing, and that's general kid noises.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful.
Do you like children? Or is like too much of a strong word and you just enjoy seeing children?
I mean, I've never disliked them because I know some people like actively dislike children.
Yeah.
That's not me. But I'm not the person who's like, I know I want to be a dad. That kind of person. I know I'm not like that either. So I would say pretty neutral.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty in the middle.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
What about you?
For me, my answer to this is always like, because after working like with cosmetics and stuff like that, a very prominent thing that always comes up in like the world of beauty is the whole anti-aging. I call it bullshit. I call it the anti-aging bullshit thing because I won't rant about it too much, but it further perpetuates the fact that I cannot fathom why they would ever portray just a natural course of life as something so undesirable. I think a lot of like advertising is quite toxic as well. Like they have this like for example, let's just call something a youth serum. They use a 25-year-old for it, and I'm like, dude, you're 25. You don't need this shit. Like you're marketing towards like, let's admit it, the demographic of women who are like, maybe in their 40s, 50s, maybe getting some like fine lines here and there, and you use a 25-year-old for like the model for it. What the heck are they gonna get out of it? And it just makes me very angry. And now like there are just like so many laws that have been implemented that you have to disclaim whether this has been photoshopped or not. And it's like, seriously? And you can debate on like whether it's good, like it actually works or not, and whether people like charge like $1,200 for like a pot of cream and say like, oh, is this amount of ingredients, like glacier water from Alaska? Okay, whatever. Either way, you probably shouldn't be portraying something that's just a natural course of life as something so bad. Which is why, I kind of look at, my parents now, and I can see that they're visibly getting older. And it's like, I don't really lament over that, because I'm just like, well, they've lived a life to tell. They've lived a story to tell. And I think for me, I would, I say some things, and I probably shouldn't around some people, because they're just like, oh, why would you think that? But I sometimes have this thought where it's like, I can't wait till the day I'm 30. I can't wait till the day I get older, because I feel like aging is a privilege. Things like health is wealth. I've had some troubles with that in the past, so it kind of makes me wonder if I'll ever get, live to see the day, like Halley's Comet passes by in the next 50 years or something. Like, things like that. So that's what I find beautiful in life. Like, ironically, it's a very hot take, controversial opinion, but that's just what I find beautiful in life, like people getting older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck
so yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah, good answer. When I see like celebrities, it's like a typical example of some celebrities get a lot of plastic surgery, and you can tell.
Yeah.
I've never thought, oh man, like, I mean, this is a personal opinion too. People like different things, but I've always thought with like people without plastic surgeries, I always thought like, man, they look very elegant. But I look at people with plastic surgeries, I don't know. I never thought they looked great. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it is their personal choice, and I respect that for them. It's just that it's just upsetting, because that they've been pressured. Like, pressured by either beauty standards or like societal pressure, or maybe people telling them, oh, you're looking, you have a few things on your face. I don't know. I know like things aren't going to change over time, but at least I can like, do my part. It's like I vigorously very openly complain to my dad. It's like, oh my god, this is a bunch of bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Cool. That's
nice.
1 out of 3.
Yeah.
I'll pick another one. All right. Who was your first friend, and are they still in your life?
Damn, that's fun. Who was my first friend? And it has to be like a human friend, right?
Is your first friend a dog or a cat?
Like I'm
or
thinking,
your imaginary friend?
I'm thinking like when I was younger, I had Tinky Winky, like a Teletubby, like a thing that I used to carry around.
I know the story. You told me that.
Did I tell you that?
You had the Teletubby.
Yeah, that's right, Teletubbies. Yeah, I used to love Teletubbies. So that.
Oh no.
But to be fair, I never really considered it. Like some kids like talk to their favorite like a doll or soft toy.
Yes.
But I always drew a distinct line between like friends, sanity, insanity.
Okay, edgelord.
Now, who was my first friend? I would say like I probably had a friend in kindergarten. And yeah, I vaguely remember, but definitely not in my life right now.
Yeah. Do you remember up to what point that they were in your life?
It would have been pretty short because we moved around a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't have that many long-term friends that we go way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be cool.
I think it's also like a generational thing, because my first friend that I remember was from when I was 5 in primary school, and I met her this year. First time in about 10 years.
10 years. Yeah.
It's so jarring to kind of see how someone was exactly the way you remember them, and yet nothing like the way you remember them. Like I will never, I will never change, but I will never be the same kind of a thing. But I was just like, it's also weird, because the last time I saw her, I was like 10 years old. I don't remember. I didn't feel like I was suddenly 10 years old again. I was just like, oh, I come to terms with the fact that, oh, this is my friend. She is now 20 and we are now 20.
Yeah.
We're not 5 years old anymore. But yeah, no, I went with her. I was in the same school as her up until like intermediate. We parted ways in intermediate. But her birthday is 4 days before mine. So every year, without fail, we've always wished each other happy birthday over text. Even though we talk like nothing for the rest of the year. We do not talk for the rest of the year until like very recently when we caught up over lunch. But yeah, no, like every single year we still wish each other happy birthday. So yeah, that's my first friend.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I also feel like it's a generational thing, because at least I had text. You know?
Yeah.
Who are you texting in kindergarten? Nobody. I have no phone at kindergarten. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, these questions are good. I like them.
Thank you. When did you last cry in public in front of another person and by yourself? 3 scenarios.
Oh shit! In public, in front of another person,
And by yourself.
by myself.
Yes.
Oh my days. Oh my days. That's tough.
You're welcome to not admit any of them to the public. It is a very raw question.
In public, I must have.
Mm-hmm.
I must have.
When was the last time you did that?
It's probably when I was a kid.
What do you define as a kid?
Like 10 years or below.
Damn,
I
really?
Think so. I think so. Like I can't remember
Like,
the last.
it doesn't matter if people were watching or not.
Yeah.
But like, really?
I
Like
think
10
so.
years ago?
I would say so. Like, I can't remember last time out. Maybe in like airport or something. You know, that's public, right?
Oh yeah, of course,
yeah.
but-
So yeah,
Oh, wow,
yeah. So maybe
okay.
If in that case, maybe in airport, like maybe like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, around 10 years ago in an airport, because my family goes in and out of Korea from here
Oh yeah.
and to there and stuff.
Are your parents in Korea?
My dad is, my mom's in Korea.
Oh yeah.
And my brother in Korea too.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's that. In front of someone else, probably with maybe with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if that was the last time.
Mm-hmm.
There was probably something else between that. But like about a year-ish ago when she was going back to Korea,
Mm-hmm.
it's a kind of similar vibe.
Oh,
Kind
yeah.
of cheating here. And by myself, what time is it now? By myself.
Was it a long story, or do you want this to be over?
No, I think I'm a crier, like, you know, watching movies.
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
like,
of course.
yeah.
Same. Don't get me wrong.
So probably like, I want to say like even like maybe like a week or month ago. Yeah. So it's quite a
That's
frequent
long
thing.
time. That's so
Really?
long time. Was it because of like media, or was it because you were sad?
Usually it's
Oh,
kind
by the
of-
way, when I say cry, like,
Yeah.
I generally mean sad. Like, if you were crying yourself to
Ah.
tears, like, because you were like laughing so hard, that's
Right.
like so that's a whole different story. But I mean like
Oh.
sad.
Now usually like when I cry by myself, it's because I'm like touched. You know, like you watch like a nice movie and you're like, oh, that's nice. That
When
kind-
was the last time you've cried because you were sad?
because I was sad by myself? Probably like, it's kind of frequent too, like maybe like a month ago or something.
Are you comfortable saying the reason?
Saying the reason.
If
Usually
you
it's,
remember.
like usually it's like when I feel a bit overwhelmed,
Oh
like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot of things going on.
Because a month ago you started your new job.
That's true. I mean, yeah, it was like month was like a like arbitrary time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's just sometimes I'm like, oh, like it feels a bit too much. There's this going on, there's this thing going on,
Of course.
and sometimes because I'm Catholic
Oh yeah.
and
yeah.
I pray,
Mm.
and sometimes I do that and I'm like, oh, like shed a bit of tear.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. How about you?
Nice. In public was at a concert actually, so no one noticed.
Oh,
but
that's a good
it
one,
was
yeah.
Conan Gray. I'm not sure if you heard of him, but he has this one song that I really love called "Movies,"
Okay.
and I'm just like, shit, because it was like the one that I was looking forward to, and it was like my favorite song at the time. But it just moved me so much that you have thousands of people just like singing along to the same song.
Goosebumps.
And I was just like, one, the song's like quite sad, so I
Yeah.
was like really moved by it, and I was really like touched by it. But it was like November 2022,
Mm.
so
Last year,
yeah, like
a year ago.
yeah, literally. Oh wow, it's already been a year.
Yeah.
Oh my god, time flies. But yeah, no, that was the last time I cried in public in front of someone else. Oh god, it'd be over the phone.
Yeah. That counts.
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I may have lied and said I wasn't crying, but I probably was.
Right.
Yeah, but no, I think I was just so frustrated and
Mm.
overwhelmed, and I was like, why?
Mm.
Yeah, I just got very, I don't usually let things. I'm usually quite a confrontational person. I don't usually let things get to a certain point where it all bursts out. But for that specific situation, I feel like I was not in a position to process things rationally for a long time because I had like a really crappy month, and it just further built up, and I was like, dude, I can't do this anymore. And it just burnt up. To myself is actually a really interesting one, because I remember at the end of May, I was starting to realize that I was getting irritable over things that I wouldn't usually get irritated at. Okay. And then I realized that, oh my God, I haven't cried for a month.
Okay.
And I feel like that was such a pivotal moment for me, because, you know, when life wasn't as busy in COVID, I was like free to really express myself in the comfort of my own room because it was COVID. But when I, you know, like work, I was so busy at work, and then, you know, that was pretty much like every day, and like other life thing, I just eventually came to a realization, oh snap, I haven't cried in a month. So I think I do this thing where I put on something really sad, like at the end of the month. Listen, I put on
Start cutting onion.
No. Like actually emotions, not just forcing myself to cry. I don't cut onions at the end of every month. No, but I like put on something like a sad movie or something, so I can cry at the end of every month, just to let it all out, because I feel like there's a lot of things built up, whether they're happy or sad emotions. There's just a lot of emotions that are built up, and I realized that moment. I was like, oh crap, I haven't cried. So like I would go. This has never happened before. I would sometimes go like a month without crying if I'm very busy and stuff like that, or like many weeks. And I would like. I remember the last time I did it, I put on my favorite film, Interstellar. Have you watched it?
Yes.
Yes. You know what happens
Great
in it.
film.
But, oh my God. The amount that I cried was so much. But yeah, no, also Oppenheimer, when I watched it by myself. I wanted to watch Oppenheimer by myself because it was one of those films where I knew I would have to like think intellectually by myself, and I don't want any distractions. So I bought like a very nice, you know, very, very nice ticket, very nice stuff like that. I remember when they first like, you know, set off the nuclear bomb, and then the sparks, the imagery sparks. And how like reflected like at the very beginning, like in his dreams, stuff like that. Something about that touched me so much, and it just moved me. I love Christopher Nolan films. If you haven't noticed already, you know, Interstellar and Oppenheimer. But no, something about that moved me so much, and I was like, this is a movie about mass destruction, and here I am tearing up over bloody Oppenheimer. But yeah, no, I would say that was also one of the other times. But yeah, no, I would say like every month routinely.
It's coming up. End of month is coming up.
Oh snap! It is.
You have to schedule in your.
Oh no! I have to schedule in my sad hours.
Yeah, tomorrow could be right.
Oh yes, no, it's tomorrow. Oh yeah,
Sunday is.
Here's the thing, right? Ever since moving to my new role, I have to do month-end reporting. Yeah. So like the day before and the day of, I don't usually think about the fact that I need to do my monthly cry.
Yeah, monthly.
my monthly cry. Because I'm just like, oh my God, I have to wake up tomorrow, show up to work at 8 a.m. and I have to do like reporting.
There must be a science behind crying and stress release.
Of course. I mean, I don't think there needs to be a study on it. Just do it. It helps.
Just do it. Crying is the new cleansing, guys. Crying is the new fasting, you know?
What the But yeah, no, like genuinely I feel like I was just like, why am I getting so irritated over the things I usually don't get irritated? Then I realized, I haven't cried in a while. Okay. I put on Interstellar, and I was just like, I cried for like many hours, and I was just like, you know what? I feel a lot better now. Yeah, those are my 3 questions.
Great questions, Jessie. Thank you for sharing that with us.
I'll share you the entire file.
Heck yes. And we are nearing towards the end. We've got one more segment before we close off. Before that, is there anything that you would like to throw? Because you don't have socials. Because usually people like share. I usually get people to share their socials, which is fine if you don't have anything.
I don't.
LinkedIn or anything like that?
Please don't add me on LinkedIn. Okay. I mean, I would probably have to know you first. Watch the new Hunger Games. Watch Five Nights at Freddy's with people. Markiplier is making a new movie called Iron Lung. It's gonna be in theaters. I don't know when, but it will be. What else?
And watch this space for your new book.
Or don't. Or don't. Buy Carpet yogurt. Buy Carpet yogurt. It's very good.
It's very good.
If Carpet dies, I die. I love Carpet yogurt.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. So for the last segment, bit controversial. Have you heard of that phrase that says, "Your eyes are the windows to your soul"? Mm-hmm. Well, it's a lie. It's the window to your soul is actually your phone notes. Can we look into your soul?
What do you aim to get out of the segment?
Just pure enjoyment.
Cool. Well, I'll read you my 3 pinned ones. Actually, 2 pinned ones because I can't bloody count. My first one is called My Author Contemporary. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't even know if it's a real word. But I just write. I have 5 lines on it, and essentially like character name ideas, title name ideas, and book name ideas.
Okay.
I won't share any of that now. The other one, the big one, is called Notes of My Life, and I always have one of these. And essentially, it's things like it has my NHI number, my eyesight degrees, the password to my watch in case I forget it, my favorite quote, and my PIN number to my credit card.
Right.
My favorite quote is "Measure Your Life in Love," and it's called and it's from the musical Rent. It's my favorite musical.
Wait, what's the quote?
Measure your life in love.
Measure life in love. Damn.
Yes. I would like to get it tattooed on me someday.
Where?
I don't think it's appropriate for me to share that with you, but probably something on like my ribcage because it's close to my heart.
Yeah. That's sick.
Yeah.
That's a sick location.
Yeah, that's probably gonna hurt a lot though.
Oh,
but when I'm less of a chicken, I might give it a go. And then I have a bunch of quotes that like I've come across throughout the years. For example, if it makes you happy, it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. If you do only what you can do, you'll never be more than you are now. Another quote from Rent: "Forget regret, or life is yours to miss," which is why I'm very gung-ho about the whole I don't regret anything. Funny quotes like, "If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it probably is a duck."
There's probably some wisdom in there.
Yeah. I have a quote from Jason. Bloody hell! It says,
Let's go.
I mean, that's a great goal to have. Don't let the perfect be the evil of good.
Let me process this. Sorry, it takes a while to process the quotes. Like
I was talking about like a goal and how like I was a bit anxious of going for it because I wouldn't be perfect on a goal. And he goes, Don't let perfect be the evil of good."
Damn, sounds like a data engineer or something.
You know what? If I tell this to him, he's gonna be like, "I said that." One from Daniel Howell, one of my favorite YouTubers, is "Have the courage to exist." From Marie Curie, my favorite scientist, "Now is the time to understand more, so we may fear less." Damn. And the funniest one I have: "The more you fuck around, the more you find out." And then I literally have a section on this notes called "Questions to Answers," which is just very niche answers. Like, for example, ask, "What is your special talent?" And I'd be like, "My special talent is having no special talent." But no, my special talent is falling asleep in wildly inappropriate places. The amount of times I've fallen asleep on a meeting, in work, in front of other people, giving a seminar, and in uni lecture halls is absolutely embarrassing. Once I was in a workshop at work, I was sitting in front row. I kind of leaned like... Sorry, Mike. Yeah. I kind of lean like this, and then I just close my eyes and pass out.
Like, because I have to fight for my life not to do that. So, I feel that.
Yeah, no, I fall asleep in the bumpiest car rides. I remember once a group of us were driving back from Hamilton. I fell asleep in the back car, and this guy was not driving like smoothly at all, and I still fell asleep. I've fallen asleep on a meeting. I once like leaned my head back on a chair, like in a small cubby meeting room at work, and I just fell asleep. Woke up. It was like 48 minutes into the hour-long meeting. I was like, oh shit! But it was like a seminar anyway, so I didn't have to contribute to it. But no.
Oh my goodness.
My falling asleep in wildly inappropriate places. My niche interests. I feel like I should have a lot more, but pens.
Pens, okay.
I really like pens. And Five Nights at Freddy's. My knowledge of the law is like encyclopedic at this point. Unhinged bucket list. I kind of want to get struck by lightning one day because I feel like it'd be cool. I want to win something from a claw machine because I'm a sore loser and I never win that.
Did you win that from a claw? Me and my flatmate.
Can you win something for me? I'm really bad at that.
I couldn't believe it because I'm pretty sure it was my first time.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
Better than no times because I'm a sore loser. But
yeah.
I have this wild like dream that like one day I'll buy like a really cheap wedding dress and hire a friend that does photography, drive out to a beach during sunset and take cool photos of me ruining a wedding dress in the ocean for the lols.
Very Magella-like.
Most hated foods: eggplant, marshmallows. I fucking hate marshmallows. This is what I wrote, by the way. People that annoy you.
I love eggplants.
I hate eggplant.
It's so delicious.
It's just a texture for me. I'm
eggplant.
so sorry.
Miss Plant.
Miss Plant.
If you're watching this.
I'm not gonna ask what that is.
Oh, eggplant.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Just big.
People that annoy you. People who chew with their mouth open. People who gatekeep fragrances or cosmetics. People who change the pronouns in songs to be straight. People who feel entitled to touch service dogs or animals. People who say the word he or she instead of they. People who answer questions with another question. People who claim to speak a language when they only know their self-introduction, how to order soup at a restaurant, and the word duck, and literally nothing else to actually have a conversation. Very niche things that tick me off. When the title of your song is the first word in your chorus. The quote, everything happens for a reason. American spelling. When you spell minimize with a Z, I will get angry. My favorite director, Christopher Nolan. Favorite movies, Interstellar, Oppenheimer, Crazy Rich Asians, Hidden Figures, The Devil Wears Prada, and Home Alone. Are you having fun?
Yeah, I'm having like this is like everything that I could wish and hope for. Like if every one of my podcast interview guests had this, you know.
Best things to exist ever. Five Nights at Freddy's 6, Henry's last speech before the game closes out. My Comlord 301 and Finance 251 group projects. They were such good group projects. I love them so much. How to Train Your Dragon movie soundtrack. Dinner with Anyone, Dead or Alive. Princess Diana, Vincent van Gogh, Marie Curie, Whitney Houston. Random thoughts. My knowledge of FNAF is literally encyclopedic. I love the iceberg videos where people deep dive into a niche topic for 3 hours. Best insults. Communication skills of an alarm clock, referring to babies because they do nothing but scream. Iconic quotes that I remember. The one video where it says, if my grandma had wheels, she would have been a bike. It's part of iconic British television. I can send you and a whole bunch of YouTube shorts of like recipes of food that look really yummy that I'm probably going to make one day. But yeah, no, that's notes of my life.
Damn.
I have more. I have another separate notes of like lyric ideas and also notes like music notes that kind of like make sense, but usually like song title ideas and stuff like that. I have like a whole after I watched Oppenheimer, I made a like reflection on the movie. God the President, I forgot his name already, is such an accurate caricature of a world leader. What stood out to me was the imagery after the explosion, how they didn't focus on the Japanese... Oh, shit, spoilers. Never mind. But the quote I like from it is, reading sheet music isn't about can you read the music, it's about can you hear the music, which relates to me because music. And also, nobody knows what you believe. Do you? Hit me pretty hard. I like it. And then I have a letter to myself when I wrote on like my last hour of being 19 to my 20-year-old self when I turned 20.
Yeah.
I will read it and skip out the maybe depressing parts. Dear 20-year-old Jessie Liu, hey, it's 1 hour from meeting you. How surreal. How are you? I know you didn't want this day to happen a long time ago, and I know you won't feel any different, but probably still be upset a lot at the realization that time is inevitably moving on. I'm extremely lucky to say that you won't have to worry about anything that has stressed you previously, like your degree, because you have one now. You're welcome. But I'm only kidding, as I know things will only get more difficult from here, but just know that new things await you. Our past selves and I have learnt so many things to take you here to where you are today. I never want you to forget the 3 quotes that you swore to live by. 1, measure your life in love. 2, if you only do what you can do, you'll never be more than you are now, and have the courage to exist. I know I said I hope a lot of times, but I have so many more. I hope you go places that I never could. I hope that one day you'll never have to doubt yourself when you wonder whether you deserve to be happy. I hope this day marks the end of the storm before the rainbow, and I hope your heart lifts the heavy burden that finds colors that make you feel alive, like you're 16 and you smell like summer. But most of all, I hope you remember to let your existence be a reminder that life doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. I hope you fall in love with being alive. Kindest regards from me to you, 19-year-old Jessie Liu.
Damn.
I look back at it now and it makes me very happy to see that I'm much more happier now. I thought about, speaking of starting YouTube channels, I thought about being a commentary YouTuber where I just kind of sit there and rant.
Yeah.
My video ideas. Breaking down Haikyuu and the genius of it all. Cosmetic consumerism before and after the pandemic. My Little Pony. Digital footprints and Five Nights at Freddy's security breach and why it was really bad.
I love that.
Points of discussion. MBTI and how the whole concept of MBTI is still a pseudoscience, and it compensates for the fact that people don't actually know what their personality is, hence why people are really obsessed with them. Additionally, always talking crap about other people to compensate the fact that you have no personality. Something that annoys me, when you read something that someone has wrote and you just know that they wrote it using ChatGPT because they were dumb enough to not change it from American spelling to British spelling. I was looking at computers one day and looking at, is Ryzen 7 or i5 better? And the idea of romanticizing Paris is exclusively and ironically an American sentiment. French people have been saying forever that Paris is the worst part of France. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. Yeah, but that's just like, you know, I have this one, call the bank and ask them about these things.
Okay.
You know, things like contracts. And I also, from my first audit in my first job, I have a list of like iconic quotes from my team.
Okay.
Yeah, Jason has quite a lot of them. Hey, Jason, I hope you don't mind me spilling a few.
Shout out, Jason.
But
really interesting chemistry project that he works on.
One of iconic quotes of him is, "Oh my god, guys, I'm not gonna commit fraud. Jeez," just out of context. He once bought 4 protein shakes because, dude, they're 45 grams each. This is very out of context without knowing the fact that this was my job. But then I was driving past him because it was the end of work. And he was walking to the shop where he was going to buy stuff. And I was like, I rolled down the window. I was like, committing fraud, are we? And I remember I brought like a hand cream that had like a cow on it because it had milk in it. And then he read the contents of it. He was reading the ingredients. And he started to wax poetic about the atrociously low protein content in my hand cream.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my notes out.
Wow. That's a proper look into your so
notes of my life.
I love this. So you like taking notes, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I can't say a lot of the things I write down to other people. Otherwise, it will be really concerned for me. I also have things like TV shows that I like have like in mind to watch. Food places like Rude Boy, apparently they have very good pasta. I love pasta. I wrote one of my grad because they asked for a basic skincare routine, and I wrote them a skincare routine, like explaining to them why each and everything is. Yeah. And then here's my cohort perfume matches, and here's like I started on like noting down perfume matches. Here is my 30 questions to becoming friends, hopefully. Where I just write my 30 questions.
Cool background too.
Along with bonus questions. And this was an old conversation that I say from Instagram before I deleted it with a friend that I had who was Japanese but lived in Santa Monica.
That's cool.
America. I kind of hold on to it because we're not friends anymore. We kind of just drifted apart. Yeah. But I can just say they're very successful, and if you search up a website, they're on the front page of it, and it's a very successful organization. I'll show you later.
Okay.
But yeah.
Do you mean where she works? Or
yeah, vaguely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, listen, you have to show me right after this.
Yeah, of course I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got stories to tell that I probably shouldn't put on the internet. But yeah,
sounds good. Looking forward to
it. But yeah, no, those
Should
are
we put that on Patreon or something? It's on my Patreon for exclusive stories.
That sounds so shady. Exclusive podcast. Yeah. Well, but no, those are my notes, my phone notes.
Yeah. No, that was really fun. Thank you.
Do you have any to spill?
Oh, my phone notes?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so this one is my work phone, so it doesn't have anything here.
Okay. Do you remember anything on your phone?
I know one of them is like my measurements, like like
your clothing
chest,
measurement. Yeah,
and like waist and all that.
Yeah.
Because I always forget. And what else? A lot of like things to do with podcasts. Things you would expect, like podcasts. Yeah. I don't really use notes that much. Yeah. So things to do with podcasts, and that's about it.
I used to vent to my notes. I don't do that anymore because if I did, I would read it out and we'd be here for a long time. But the last time I vented to it was like my like dear 20-year-old self one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like now I don't. Like whenever I'm thinking, oh, actually no, on my OneNote at work, I have this tab called brain dump, and it's password locked.
Right.
And every time I like have this thought and I write it in brain dump, like whenever I encounter like a particularly frustrating situation. And I remember the first one, I timestamp it with like the date and the time and everything. And I remember the first one is that I saw my previous manager waiting for his boss, like waiting for his performance review and his boss in a meeting room. And I kind of look over, and for a second, it kind of just hit me like a truck that he looks so small.
Right.
Like, because, you know, like to me, he's my, you know, manager, you know, I look up to him, but for a second he looks so small waiting for his boss who he probably looks up to. And I kind of look at him and I'm just like, wow, for a second he just looks so small. I wonder if I've ever looked like that to anyone. And I probably do. I probably look like that to a lot of people. But yeah, no, that was my first brain dump. I have a brain dump of that like at work as well.
OneNote that
it's password lock. You're not going to be able to get into it. It's a very easy password. It's my name.
Okay. Well, now everyone knows.
Well, no one's gonna be able to access my OneNote. That's the thing. And plus, it's like nothing scandalous. It's like, you know,
it's
like
brain dump.
Yeah, it's brain dump. And also, whenever I would give feedback to other people, like the boss that I was talking, like my manager who I was talking about, and his manager asked me, who was like 3 steps down on the organization chart, for feedback on him. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll just write it in my brain dump. Yeah.
Interesting.
But no, like a lot of like funny quotes. I do this thing at work where in my Teams Microsoft Teams conversations, the funniest quote gets pinned.
Okay.
I have so many good quotes. Oh my god, it's so funny. So no, that's something that I do with everyone I chat to. I mean, I don't have one with you right now, but you know, if you ever say something funny and I pin something, know that that's gonna be immortalized. I have great ones.
Oh, I haven't said anything funny, guy.
You just joined, so I feel like
joined.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, no.
That is true. Well, this has been a really fun conversation, Jessie, and I was just so happy that you're really into fashion, and I know that there's an outlet for my passion for fashion. There's an outlet for that.
That
so
rhymed.
Hear that? There you go.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you being here. I really appreciate you being so open to read. Let us look into through the window to your soul, like very directly, very directly. So I really appreciate you for that. But,
iconic notes in my life. You should have one.
I should
save all your iconic quotes that make you go, wow, that's deep.
I mean, I started one and it's empty still.
Oh, it's not profound enough.
No. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Worries. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See ya. Love ya.
Subscribe to Markiplier.
Subscribe to my
sorry, follow this podcast first and then subscribe to
my channel first and then subscribe to Markiplier and subscribe to PewDiePie.
He doesn't need any more.
Subscribe to No, you're taking the title back from Mr. Beast. NT series. NT series, guys. Okay, guys, we're going now. Bye. Love you.
Bye.